If love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Oh,
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not.
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They
don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay. Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still on the songs with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof I'm alive by the motor. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like another city, the driver's side flyer. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with view for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Hello, Leroy.
What's up?
Nah, not much, man. Not much. How are you?
What a game.
What a game.
Hey, boy, I tell you. Hey, if I'm a Miami fan,
Hmm?
I'm gonna be a little more careful and patient with what guys I want and don't want. Cause you remember Dan Campbell was the coach of the Miami
was he?
Dolphins. Yeah.
Yes, that's
And-
right. He
and-
was.
And what do we say?
Hmm?
Meathead. It'll never work.
Well, I actually really liked the first couple of weeks. You made fun of me, as I recall, when we were doing shows.
Yeah.
You made fun of
Of
me.
course. Of course.
I was like, oh, that's Goosies. And he didn't get the job. And instead, and possibly the worst discrepancy of letting a guy go and hiring somebody, they decided, you know who we should hire? Adam Gase.
And furthermore, you know what the Detroit Lions did that kind of got them turned around more than anything?
What's that?
They did something that a lot of teams that lose a lot don't do.
What's that?
Have patience.
Oh, I
Have
don't know about
patience.
that.
They did
I don't know.
because they weren't very good the first couple of years.
They were not. They were not. A lot
And-
of crying from Dan Campbell.
But
Man
still,
tears.
but still, they had patience.
They did. They did.
And so from that standpoint, I've always said this to fans that, like, one of the biggest and most common traits of an organization that can't turn it around is impatience. You look at again, if it were up to Pittsburgh, Mike Tomlin would not be the coach. They've been trying to run him out of town for 5 years.
Yeah, they're in greats.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like it is one of the things that one of the traits that follows an organization that can't turn it around.
Yeah.
They want it to happen too quick. And so I appreciate watching organizations that have the patience, with their coach. And basically I would say they are able to identify the real issues.
Well, he still has the Dolphins on his mind. I mean, it is very clear that Dan, I mean, maybe I'm being sensitive here, but I listened to this man Campbell speech today. I was like, oh, he's taking shots at the Dolphins. He's taking shots.
No.
Oh, I'm telling dude.
First of all, no, wait. Let me decide that, because you are always in petty mode.
I don't think that's true.
Everything that anybody says is petty against somebody. So let me hear, and I will give an honest opinion.
I've been on top of this because
I'll give an honest opinion.
I'll play it in a second. I just want to say you agreed. Like I thought I heard something with Tua taking pot shots at Aaron Rodgers. You agreed with me. I thought Bam was referring to me.
Tua wasn't trying to, but he basically said, what the hell did y'all expect from an old ass quarterback?
Pretty much.
Done.
Pretty much. Well, we know what the narrative has been around the Dolphins. Tough. They're not tough.
Right.
We don't talk about being tough.
Yep.
Well, listen to Man Campbell, of course, ousted by this franchise.
Because he tried to be
thrown out in the cold.
Tried to be too tough, remember? Oklahoma drills.
That's right.
Tried to toughen them up.
Here's man Campbell in the locker room after their win over the Packers and clinching the playoffs.
I told you you'd never forget this game. You will never forget this game. We don't have to talk about how tough we are. We don't have to talk about how resilient we are. We live it, man. We've been living it. Where's our defense at? Offense, that's the way to step up, man. That's the way to step up. There you go, Skip. Keep throwing up, whatever you're doing over there. That's the way to freaking lay it on the line. Guys, I'm so freaking proud of you, man. That's the way to show up. You talk about pressure, we live in pressure. That's where we freaking thrive. You did it again. You did it again. All right? It doesn't matter who's playing for us. It doesn't matter what's going on. You always find a way to win. That's what champions do. This is not happenstance, man. This doesn't just happen. This has been in the making, man. This has been in the making. All right? We are all supposed to be here together, man. We're destined for this. Just stay the course. That's 12, and that's 4 in the division. You guys are warriors. You're warriors. Good win. Break it down.
Now.
That's objective. That's objective goosies.
Yes.
Goosies.
Yes. It one of the things that makes you root for Detroit, right? And one of the things that makes you like Dan Campbell is those speeches in the locker room also look like the way they play football.
Yep.
They have what? 18 guys on injury reserve? No defensive line. Did you see the way they played?
Mm-hmm.
And the coach, I mean, without batting an eye, right? I thought the game was over when he went for it on 4th and 1 on his own 30. You think he would have shied away at the end of the game?
He's got those wheelbarrow balls, dude. Remember when Mike McDaniel had those?
But look, this is what you know what? This is what they do. This is what every player expects every time they go into a game, and they know what the stakes are. So, yeah, man, it's fun. It's fun to watch, and more importantly, it's fun to watch. Like the other team look across the line of scrimmage and go, "Are you guys really doing this?" And they, yes, we are. And so it's fun to watch. You have to have. See, everybody can't have wheelbarrow balls like that. Everybody can't have it. You got to have the makeup. You got to have the team. You got to have the physicality up front. You got to have the guys that know what's at stake, and you have to go about it. Teams that don't ever play that way can't ever be the ones to say, we'll line up anywhere under any circumstance and get a yard. And I've said this to you. I've said this to you that, like, that was my thing. I don't care what the circumstances are. I don't care. I'll get you a damn yard. And you have to have that attitude. And if you have a team that has that attitude, and it starts with those guys up front, but then the defense plays that way because you're doing it every day in practice. So now your defense is tougher. Now your linebackers are tougher.
Tough.
Right? That's just if you notice, usually teams that run the ball well do pretty well against the run because they're defending it every day. They're defending that type of physical football every day. So when the Dolphins practice, they run the sweeps and screens and quick passes and whatever. And then when the team comes in and gets real physical with them, they haven't seen it. So I do think, like, there's a lot of different ways to do it. But this time of the year, the way they do it, that type of football can be played under any condition. I don't care what the weather is. I don't care what the circumstance of the game are. That type of football can be played in all conditions. And I think that's the thing that is going to carry them, far. Now, I will say this.
Yep.
Jared Goff threw one of the most ridiculous interceptions I have ever seen. He didn't even look.
Well,
I said, hey, JG. And I call him JG because that's what we used to call Jeff George. I say, hey, man, you know there's defenders over there. You can't just think you looking the other way gonna move them that much all the time. But they did it, man. They win games every which kind of way, but it all is based around. They got two guys about to run for 1,000 yards.
Froggy.
Yes, sir.
He was taking pot shots.
He was taking pot shots.
He was taking pot shots.
No, he
He was
wasn't.
taking-
We don't gotta
Deserve pot shots. Hey,
like-
listen. Deserve pot shots. Deserve pot shots.
Here's the thing. If anybody from Miami takes that as a pot shot at Miami,
Mhm.
with him talking about his team,
Yep.
that means you have questions about your team's
We
toughness.
do have
Not
questions
him.
about our. We do. We literally. That's literally been the biggest question on here.
But that has nothing to do with him.
Let me just say something. Hold on. Let's paint a picture here. All right. Let's paint a picture here.
Oh, now we in our
Let's just paint a picture. Let's take it back.
Yeah.
To last Thursday.
Yep.
All right. Man Campbell. He has just beaten the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
He's obviously at the head of the table wherever he's at. Giant turkey leg in hand.
Oh yeah, is he carving the turkey or he just eating the turkey leg?
Oh, he rips the turkey leg off. I think he does the first slice and then he hands it off to personal chef, of course. The King Campbell cannot be bothered at the head of his table.
Okay, I got you.
But he has this giant football wall screen as he's eating turkey leg, and he sees them go to the sidelines, and there's Mike McDaniel shivering, and he goes, "Talk about being tough."
Just one huge turkey leg.
Just one giant turkey leg.
And then look at him cowering in fear.
Hey, listen, great call by Tannenbaum and hiring Adam Gase. That's a great job, guys. Hey, great job. Ran that guy out of here. It's all good. It's all good, dude. It's all good. Now they have the fun offense. Now they're the fourth down team. They're running roughshod through the league like a bunch of pirates.
Oh yeah, they are. Oh my goodness, that's what it looks like, right? It looks like we're coming to steal your money.
Raiding, just pillaging pillaging the NFL. Ridiculous.
I would say.
By the way, he is right. Like I watched the video of this. There's literally a lineman throwing up in the middle of his victory speech.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Whatever he's doing, look at him puke."
Yeah,
I'm like, come on.
I would say this, that regardless of how this team looks, right? They're not far from being able to play a physical style of football. But one of the things that hinders that is consistency. You see what I'm saying? In the last 2 years, they've funneled in more offensive and defensive linemen than a little bit. And the turnover with the injuries, the guys in and out. If you go look at Philly, if you go look at Detroit, if you look at Green Bay, one of the things they have on their front, in their front five, is consistency. And I think that does matter. Okay? We're getting ready to go through a transition here where you're going to have some young guys that'll come and take some of those roles. And Paul and in the next couple of years, almost every offensive lineman is going to be 30 to 25 to 30. And then that's when you're going to need that run, right? That's where you're going to get that consistency. Injury, if they can stay injury free. But now you're moving in, you got older guys, you got veteran guys, you got young guys switching positions, moving around. Soon as you can then you can start looking for that consistency and that kind of physical nature. I also think, and I believe, that you're going to have a running back, whoever it may be, that when you get inside the 20, that we're going to ram it down your throat. When it's 4th and 1, we're going to get a damn yard. You got to have it. It's a mentality more than it is anything else. That Detroit Lions team has a mentality to where you don't even care who's running the ball. You don't care who's blocking. That whole team thinks a certain way. I think that for moments in games, like last night, the Dolphins need to experience that. They need to have a team that could do that.
This is where the patience thing is like, that's a frustrating thing for fans to hear.
It is.
Just because, let me like, I understand like they've gone through a lot of regimes, but do you realize how crazy it must make a Dolphins fan that we've seen now the Detroit Lions?
Yeah.
The Detroit Lions.
0-16 Detroit Lions.
The Detroit Lions are like looking like an absolute juggernaut. We've seen the Browns win playoff games. The Jets have been to an AFC championship. All of these things in the quarter century between playoff wins. Playoff win, just one.
But I would like to say all those teams had one basic common denominator: their offense and defensive lines. Think about it. And so while we sitting here saying, oh, our offensive line will be okay and everything, everybody else and all those other teams that you talk to have made a conscious effort to build the type of offensive line that can be dominant.
Until Tannenbaum paid Mark Sanchez, that idiot.
But yeah, right.
Also the guy who didn't hire Man Campbell. Great job, Tanny.
But so
why am I yelling at him today?
You understand that is, I mean, I was sitting here talking about, how great it is to have a quarterback and to sit here and talk about the quarterback that can and can't win it and all these things.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, quarterback is important, but how important is that offense and defensive line? Look at the teams that are having success.
Take a break here on the program. The headlines, they're brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory. The Sportage, the Sorrento, and the Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, great deals are at Doral Kia. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, you rascals. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM.
You have a headband on?
What? No, the hat.
Oh, it's a hat. Oh, okay.
A
It's a
headband.
hat.
What do I look like?
That's,
Karate Kid?
that's why I asked. I couldn't realize it was a hat because I saw some hair. That's why.
No mercy in this dojo. Holiday favorite, the Nutcracker, is coming to the R Center December 13th to the 24th. We got your tickets. All you got to do is go to WQAM.com and you can get in the holiday spirit. Head on over to the contest page and register. Old PTFB, old part-time frog boy. He's going to leave us early here today. You know, just willy-nilly, leave him whenever you want, dude.
Well, you know, it's a Friday. You want to beat the traffic today. So, you know, get out a little early.
Who's taking over here? Who's the hot tag?
So Dan Day is not allowed in the building today.
What?
Yeah, he said he's not allowed in the building. Works too much, apparently.
Is that a thing? Like you could ban somebody from the building?
Oh, remember I was in heat jail for a little bit. Remember?
Oh, that's true. I do remember that.
Sometimes you work too much in this place. And I couldn't trouble Vlad to come in for 1 hour. So we're actually going to borrow Radio Libre's producer, Steven.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Steven will be stepping in. He'll probably be here around 12.
Steven.
Yeah.
Don't lose.
Don't lose, Steven. Don't lose.
Don't lose.
I'll be a little earlier, get warmed up with the place.
That'll be on you. You got to coach him up.
You know, I'll coach him up. You know, I'll go for fourth every time.
Wait, can I ask you? Wait, can I ask you?
Yes, sir.
Sometimes you be messing up. So
okay.
If you coaching them up,
yeah.
I mean, you did play a PSA in the middle of the intro.
Follow directions, dude. That's good producing. I think that was pretty good. Sometimes, you know, you don't think, you just follow what they say, and that's usually gonna work out best for you. But you know, he may have a couple false starts, but we'll do what we can. He muted himself again. You see, you know, I'm not the only one.
You muted me. You just did that out of punishment. Why would you do that?
That's my fault, sir. I apologize. You know, I drop the ball sometimes.
Panthers won a wild one last night. Did you guys watch any of that?
Oh my goodness, it was a touchdown, a field goal, and a safety.
They were up 3-0. And you know, I gotta talk to my son about something because he's been telling some whoppers lately, dude.
Really?
Well, I was like, I got the.
I wonder where he gets that from.
I don't know, but I was like, you know, I was grilling, so I was kind of like, you know, peeking, like I peek around the corner to see the TV, and he goes, Dad, something just happened for the first time in hockey history. We were talking about hockey fights beforehand. He loves hockey fights, and I was like, well, what happened? He goes, the referee punched the player.
And so you go,
and I'm like, really? He goes, they're gonna show it. They never showed it. And I'm like, I'm like, did you see like a commercial or something? He goes, you don't believe me? I'm like, all right, I believe you, but like, which player got punched? And he goes, Kachuk.
Okay.
And then I have to think to myself, like, well, he is kind of annoying on the ice. I mean, if there was a guy who was going to get punched, it would be Matthew Kachuk. But I'm like, why is he? I'm like, there's no way. Do you know what kind of a crazy thing that would be in sports if a referee punched a hockey player?
Well, I mean, there was one who threw a beanbag in somebody's eye.
I do remember that.
Yep. I played with him.
I do remember that.
Yeah, the other day, Van Vliet got into it with the ref, and I think he put like his finger on his forehead. And that was reported everywhere. Now, like, imagine a ref swinging at
swinging at Matthew Kachuk, and I was like, I don't think that. He goes,
your phone would have been blowing up, dude. Your phone definitely.
I would have seen, and I didn't even like want to insult him because he hit me with the "you don't believe me." So then, because immediately I was like, oh, should I even look at Twitter? Because I thought it was a lie.
Yeah,
but like if a ref punched a player, that would be right there immediately. But didn't have. But the Panthers were up like 3-0 at that point, and I'm sitting here and I'm like, all right, they should have this one. And no, they did not, because they go up. The Flyers come back. They get a pair of goals. Panthers then go up 4-2, and then Flyers come back, take the lead 5-4.
Yeah. Solid third period though.
Yeah, they get the 4-on-4. They get a goal. Gustav Forsling, big shot, ties it up. And then the Panthers went on the power play. And who else? Rhino.
Right.
Stepping up in a big way. Kachuk's been on fire, though, lately for them.
Up until that ref punched
until
him.
the ref punched him in the
I
face.
would say it's weird because you'll get Verhage, Kachuk, one of the three guys will get hot, and it's almost like they'll feed them. They go like four or five games scoring a goal, and it's so it's actually pretty cool because you got a lot of different ways that they can score on you. I think I found my Julian Hill. Who's that? Rodriguez.
Oh yeah, you like betting on Evan Rodriguez, do you?
Yeah,
I understand. He is solid. Like he gets some pretty juicy stuff on, pretty juicy numbers on him.
Yeah.
But everybody was in on that action yesterday. Cats will be back tomorrow for San Jose, and hopefully the refs can behave themselves.
At home or are they on the road?
Home.
Okay.
Home. My son's like, he was badgering me yesterday to go to a Panthers game, and I'm like, you gonna make up whoppers in front of me there too? Taking advantage, dude. What kind of a story was this that he was telling?
He got you to come watch the game, didn't he?
I was watching the game, but I was in and out. Like I had to watch the stakes. I was like, all right, flipping them, let's go.
I need parenting advice though. Like
what
if my son comes with something that I presume is a whopper, do I expose him or do I do what you did and just like trust your son? Because I probably would have been like, yeah, no, kid, I don't.
At this point, it wasn't that I was trusting him, but I thought it was adorable that he wanted to talk some puck. So I was like, oh, really?
Oh, wow.
I could have crushed his spirits and been like, you're a liar. But I felt like, you know what? He's getting excited. He wants to talk some hockey.
Here.
I like that. That's great. That's good.
You're an idiot.
Why?
Let me tell you why, dummy.
Wow.
Because Tommy was in there saying, I'm watching the game by myself. This is no fun.
He wasn't really watching the game.
Let me finish. He goes, I want some company. You know what? Dad, I just saw an official punch somebody. Who, son? Kachuk. Next thing you know, he's watching the game with Dad. See? So while you playing checkers, Tommy's playing chess.
It's possible.
Right. So, like, I saw where that was going the whole way. You've never had one of your kids tell you something to get you in the room?
Yeah, for sure.
Right. Okay. So there. Well, amateur. You're an amateur. Amateur parent. Amateur parent.
Take a break.
You know damn well an official didn't hit Kachuk. Next thing you know, you sitting watching the game with Tommy. Who won? Tommy won.
Panthers won. Take a break. Back after this.
Daylight is a hand to a woman who has played too many bets. But you know who sings the background for this?
No, you.
The Supremes. Is it
Oh.
the Supremes with Diana Ross and I think so.
No, you're getting yelled at, Marcos, by JFig.
I just gave him a few seconds. You know,
Isn't it right?
I don't know, dude. That's not up my alley. I'm not positive on that one.
Wind, fire, and the emotion.
Oh, wait, what?
Earth,
Yeah,
wind.
Earth, wind, fire, and the emotion.
How about that? The emotion. Goosies.
The emotions, yeah. The emotions, yeah.
Not so are they like just not as big as the Supremes?
Same time, but I think the Supremes had Diana Ross, who was the biggest star.
That's an MVP.
She was the equivalent to what Beyonce was with her group. You see what I'm saying?
Child?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys see this? What? Go ahead, Froggy.
No, I'm so sorry. I was looking up more about the emotions to determine what song they had. They had Best of My Love.
You got the best of my love.
That's a good song.
That's a good song.
That's a good song.
Pretty good.
Yesterday, busy day for Jimmy Butler as he was at the DJ Khaled golf tournament with Dwayne Wade yesterday. So that was
one looks like a golfer and one looks like Art Basel.
I don't think Jimmy does golf. I don't think that's his thing. I don't think he does tennis and pickleball and things like that. I don't think he's a golfer. But yes, that is he does look like Art Basel. He does look like Art Basel. But this was crazy. This was our boy Mike Cunio from CBS. He had this incredible interview with Jimmy Butler outside of Big Face Coffee. And Jimmy Butler, when JFig sent this, was it JFig or you sent it? I think it was JFig who sent this to our group chat. And I just saw on there $100. And my immediate thought was, oh no, does it legitimately cost $100 for everybody to buy coffee there? Because it's Art Basel. Like, I don't know what I thought, because that was the whole thing with Jimmy Butler's Big Face Coffee when it first came out. Yeah. It is really expensive. And so I was like, oh, is this going to be his thing? His coffee is just going to be for the hoity-toity? But no, apparently Jimmy Butler, he's just got special rules, baby.
Was mad he wasn't going to be allowed to be an owner.
And he's still not going to be an owner of it either. No.
Why not? Let him in.
Because, no. I'm going to let him in the door and he can buy a $100 cup of coffee. Wow. If you're on my team, or if I know that you make over like $10 million a year, your coffee is costing $100. Don't come into my store and try a $7 cappuccino. It's $100 for y'all. For my friends and my family, that's the friends and family discount. $100. I know you got it.
Wow.
He's doing the reverse thing.
Yup. He's coming after you.
Man, I like that though. You know, the way Bam's been playing this year, he can pay a couple $100 for coffee. I wouldn't be upset.
He is, well, I think what the whole thing with Big Face Coffee, wasn't it that they got like a stipend in the bubble, you know, to go around, and he knew everybody had cash but nowhere to spend it. So he just kept charging everybody $20 per coffee and in the bubble, except for Goran. Goran somehow was able to trick his way and always stole his coffee. So which leads me to believe, I feel like Goran Dragic is going to stroll up to Big Face Coffee thinking he can just get free coffee whenever he wants. And I don't really know if anyone's going to be able to say no to him because he's adorable.
This is interesting, man. How long until we can get a review, Tobin? Next week or something like that?
I'm going next week. Yeah. Now that I know it's not $100 for me, I will definitely stroll down there and boots on the ground. We will do a Big Face Coffee review.
You maybe, you know, there's like a wall of fame sometimes at Walmart when people shoplift, and it's like, don't let this person in. May have a picture of Tobin.
No, I'll be on that list.
Oh yeah, $100 for this guy.
Leroy would like Big Face Coffee because he likes the foo-foo drinks. Like, he got addicted to that when he went to Vegas.
Dude, it wasn't just that. They made it right in front of you, dude. With all the stuff right there, fresh, not out of the big pot that you do the little thing on.
Yeah.
Like, it was the freshest. You could get it as strong as you wanted. Like, yeah, like what turned me off to coffee, this is no lie, years and years and years. What turned me off to it is going somewhere and it was watery. Right?
Mhm.
So I remember when I
That
first
diner
came.
coffee.
I remember when I first came to Florida, you know, they have the little shots. And
Yep.
they gave me a little cup. I said, I don't need them damn cups. And I just drank the whole thing out of the little, like, I didn't sleep for 2 days, right? But that was my introduction to Florida coffee.
Well, here's the thing that, like, if Bam wanted to pull a move, and
And
so like,
Tobin.
if we were to pull a, like, so the $100 per cup people in the building is Bam, Tyler, Terry, and Duncan. They all got to pay at least $100. Kevin Love probably too. I mean, like, he's very rich, even though he doesn't. I don't think he makes 10 million on this season. So, like, couldn't they just send Pella and Drew Smith to go get their coffee, or do you feel like Jimmy will be onto them?
Now that you put it out there, dummy.
Okay.
Come on.
I think he also has a rule too, just in case, to be safe. If they're over 6'5", charge them anyway.
Yeah, but Drew Smith isn't.
Yeah.
Speaking of over 6'5", Kel'El Ware made his G League debut last night.
Yes.
17 points, 12 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks in 27 minutes.
Wow.
He can't do that with the big boys?
Nope. Too busy playing Drew Smith.
You're such a bastard.
I mean, he's the tallest guy on the team.
He is.
And
He
athletic.
had himself a poster yesterday. I was like, oh, that poor G League soul.
Wow.
It's amazing. Only Tobin watches G League games.
Well, they do a very good job of putting the highlights on social media.
Here's the other problem.
We have one of the best.
You don't feel worse when you watch one of the guys that you think should be playing with the Heat, watch him get off in the G League. You don't get upset?
I mean, I'm upset about this one, but, you know, I guess I got to grow up. What do you want me to do? You know, I can't sit here continuing to lash out over the same thing. You know, I'm going to sit there. I'm going to root for Kevin Love, and we'll see what happens. You know, I don't want to get called out all the time, you know, because I get that side eye, because everybody gets so mad if I say one thing, if I have an opinion on something, then all of a sudden Kevin Love's going to be giving me side eye. You call me old.
He ain't going to be giving you side eye. He's using all his energy to play basketball.
I'm looking out for him.
Because you know, hey, Kevin Love, K-Love got 3 to 5 minute stretches.
Oh, yeah.
You're lucky if you get 3 of them.
That's right.
You can definitely rely on 2 of them. You can possibly try to get that 3rd one, but I can't promise you. Can't promise you nothing. Now, in the first 3 to 5 minutes, he may light him up, right? Because you know he's famous for going 3 for 4.
Yeah, when he's got it, he's got it.
Rebounds, 3 assists in 4 minutes.
He's also done this sneaky thing, which is don't realize the old guy's going to steal it from me. And so he's been trying to jump the passing lane too. I was like, this is every time Kevin Love steals the basketball, I'm laughing hilariously because every one of these players is looking bewildered. Like, I never thought he would try to do that.
Right? Like,
I never thought he would try that.
Like he's just walking around with his Melba toast in his car.
Like, mind you, it's like that Seinfeld episode where Uncle Leo stole the batteries. It's like they never would go after the old man.
Right. Oh my goodness. Like, it is like I've never seen a basketball player more shocked than when Kevin Love does drive-by and just takes the ball. Like, really?
My other favorite thing with Kevin Love is that, like, before every game, he does a thing at the end of the anthem where he goes and he jumps and hangs on the rim. And I'm like, why does he do that? He never does that in a game.
Right. Because he wanted everybody to know that I can dunk. I just choose not to.
He's getting the blood flowing, you know.
Or, when you can tell when Kevin Love gets tired,
Hmm?
his half-court passes become full-court passes.
Oh, he's like, I'm not.
Right? So
No
he
way.
gets a rebound. Whoop!
Too much. It's too much running.
So you know Kevin Love getting tired when his passes get longer and longer.
That's true. We'll take a break, get you caught up with your headlines, including people in the locker room for the Dolphins are making a grave mistake. That's next.
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Can go to hell. Tua Tonga Vailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy back with you here on a Friday, a football Friday here on 560 WQAM. Let us get to our headlines, which are brought to you by Doral Kia. Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia models and inventory at the Sportage, the Sorrento, and the Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Last night, the Detroit Lions win on Thursday Night Football, 34-31.
You were on the edge of your seat that whole game because you never knew what Detroit was going to do. And, like, it seemed like watching that whole game, Detroit was either going to win it or give it away with some of the decisions, right? Because they were, up 3, and they went for it on their own 30?
Yep.
Yeah.
Stones.
But I will say this. Every athlete, if you ask them, I don't care what the scenario is.
Scenario.
And I'll give you the example in golf. Would you rather putt a 5-foot putt to win, or would you rather have Tiger Woods putt it? Most athletes would tell you, I would rather putt it because I want to control my own destiny. And when you look at what Detroit does, throughout the course of every game, they have the attitude, if I can control the outcome and not leave it up to the other team, then I will choose to control the outcome.
Not me. So, I'm picking Tiger Woods.
Again,
what? That's an amazing.
I'm just telling you, if you ask an athlete, just out of curiosity, ask an athlete. Right?
Go ahead,
preferably one that golfs. Okay.
No. Mm-hmm.
Would you rather have somebody else, Tiger Woods, put a 5-foot putt for you, or would you rather do it yourself?
You know what would be amazing? Yeah. It would be because he do this impossible thing where you got to make a layup, a free throw, a 3.5 court shot in 24 seconds. Impossible. But you wanted to be amazing is if the half court shot, you could tag in any Heat player you wanted.
Oh, like the commercial?
Ooh. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
like you have Jacoby Brissett coming to do your taxes?
Kind of, yeah. But I get Tyler Hero to do the half court shot.
Would you take Tyler Hero or Duncan?
Tyler.
I think I'm taking Tyler the way this season's going. This guy's
that's see, and here's the thing. You do realize, is it dunks that's the fastest of 500 threes?
Yep.
Okay.
Not many heaves in his career, though.
You think that Tyler is a better shooter, a better three-point shooter than Duncan Robinson, or is it recency bias?
No, but I think that he is a better hard shot maker than Duncan Robinson. So, like, I'm in this scenario, I need him to hit me a half court shot. And I just feel like I'd rather go with Tyler Hero.
He's just shooting a three-pointer.
I don't know.
To me personally, I would always go with the taller guy.
So would you go with Bam?
No, he's not a three-point shooter.
He hit it for the didn't he hit a half court shot for the Rising Stars back in the day? Or the Shooting Stars?
No, it was just a 3.
Nah, I think it was a half court shot.
He hit the half court.
No, for the Rising Stars for the skills challenge.
Yeah.
It's just a 3.
I don't think it is. I think it's a 3 and then you have to hit the half court shot. Not the skills challenge. There's like one
I'm thinking the skills challenge.
No, and what is that thing? It's not a skills challenge. I forget what it's like, a relay or something like that. Anyway, doesn't matter. The point is, I think I'm taking Hero.
I think that I would take Duncan for two reasons. He is a 3-point shooter and he's taller.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're taller, it's less effort.
It's true. So you'd rather have Thomas Bryant?
I started off by saying, you jackass, that he was a 3-point shooter. See, I knew where this was going to go. I knew you were going to pick a really tall guy. That's why.
Would you take Kevin Love?
Not a better 3-point shooter than Duncan.
No, he's not, but he's taller.
I prefaced it by saying a 3-point shooter. So, hey, idiot on the chat, right? No, I would take Steph over Duncan. He's a better 3-point shooter.
Wow.
But I would say that if it's close, I would take the taller guy. He's going to have more range, right?
Do you think that Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson will be back in the 3-point contest this year, or do you think they're done with that? Because they have not had good showings.
I think
used to be an event the Heat owned.
I would tell you that maybe Tyler might want to do it because, like, he was off everybody's radar, and now he's back on it. So whatever he could do to stay on it, right, then maybe you do it.
Jared Goff, by the way, for you fantasy players out there, 32 of 41, 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick yesterday. Josh Jacobs had 18 carries for 66 yards, and he had 3 touchdowns.
They really stopped the run in the second half because I thought Josh Jacobs was going to be the difference. He had damn near 50 yards at halftime, and he was doing some damage, and they shut him down. I don't know whether it was because, well, keep in mind, they only had 7 passes at halftime. So I don't know. Did they figure, okay, we're going to go more play action and put it, in our quarterback's hands or what? Because it almost seems like that would have been a situation where you just kind of sucked the life out of the clock, and they scored twice right away. That's when I was like, we got a barn burner because they scored coming out in the second half. Bam, bam, 2 touchdowns. They got the lead.
Miami Dolphins, of course, getting ready for the New York Jets. Injury report from Thursday. The only one not to practice was Teron Armstead.
Which he's never practicing again.
He don't practice.
You had
Tyreek Hill was dealing with that wrist. He had a limited practice. Kendall Lamb, there was some questions around him. He's dealing with an elbow injury. He told reporters yesterday he's going to play. He was limited in practice. He's been dealing with that elbow. Kendall Fuller, he looks like he's back in the full swing of things, so that's great news. He had a full practice dealing with the concussion. And, of course, Bradley Chubb and Cam Good have made their returns to practice. Their window's open. We don't know if they're going to be good to go yet.
Are they going to give him like a week of practice first, or have they already done that? And then when they activate him, he's now basically just getting ready for the game.
I think this is when they started practicing this week. And they've
been working out. They've been working out. But I mean, if I'm not sure of this. I don't know whether because when Jaelan Phillips came back, he played relatively quick coming.
Well, he was back at training camp. Yeah, he came back from camp.
But what I'm saying is are they gonna like give him a couple of plays, give him a few plays, or are they gonna give him a couple of weeks of practice before he then gets limited?
I'm not sure. I think Mike McDaniel speaks later this hour, and I'm sure he'll probably give some insight in that. So we'll see if he has an answer. On the Jets side of things, Sauce Gardner, he's dealing with a hammy. He hasn't practiced all week.
Ooh.
And
hammy and speed don't mix.
I think their coach said that this week. He's like, he's like, I don't know. This is not a team you want a guy out there with a hamstring injury. So Sauce is possibly going to miss this game. And Breece Hall also hasn't practiced this week. He's been dealing with a knee injury.
Ooh, knees are tough for running backs.
So those are
you can play, but you can't cut. You know what I mean? Like you can't, no lateral movement. So it makes it sometimes makes it a little tough. Depending on how bad it is, like, yeah. Those were the worst weeks where you got a banged up knee or ankle.
Tell me about it, dude.
And you can run, but you you can only run straight. That sucked.
We tell you about it. What
You ain't tell us about
nothing.
nothing.
With my lateral quickness,
Deadfoot wants to be a part of the crew so bad.
I'll tell you, man.
Deadfoot.
Nothing like having your lateral quickness compromised.
Oh, I hate when that happens. Oh, can't.
You know what? You know what lateral movement is for Tobin?
What's that?
When he's at the buffet and he gets to the end of the line and realizes he forgot sausage.
Are you done over there?
Gotta go back.
Gotta go back. His quick lateral movement before the other person gets to the sausage.
That was a new move that you pulled out at the buffet the last time we were there, where you were just commenting on people's picks. You're like,
oh,
you don't want that salad.
No, come on, Marcos.
Yeah.
Now, everybody gets mad at me for making comments. Well, my comments are valid, right? We got breakfast. You got omelets. You got bacon, eggs. Then in the other room, you got ribs, chicken, or whatever. And somebody came to the buffet to get a salad.
See, you can get a whole plate, a couple pieces.
And so here's what I said to Tobin. And I kind of said it with the guy there. I said, you ain't eating that salad. You just getting it to look good on your table. But I know damn well you'll be back for some ribs. Like, come on. You ain't spending. And guess what? It was weekend buffet too.
Ooh,
weekend buffet don't play. Look,
inflation.
Tuesday, Wednesday buffet is like $15.
Yeah.
Weekend buffet is $37. I ain't eating no $37 salad. I don't care how healthy I want to be. Once I say $37, I'm eating some meat, and I'm trying to find the most expensive meat there is. I'm winning today.
Yeah, I think I remember that Vegas trip. You guys talked about it where you commented on his salad. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think Robbie was producing at that time. He had a mic attached to you guys, and this is what the guy had to say after eating the salad.
We're still hungry.
That's right. Hey, I'm telling you, listen, I'm just thinking from a practical, like, you're not going to go to the buffet that costs damn near $40 and eat a whole plate of lettuce. You're not doing it. You could have did that. You could have ordered the fanciest salad in the world, gonna cost you $20 in room service. Mm-hmm. So I said what I said, and I was accurate. Because when we were back up there, so was he.
Yep, he was. That's fair.
And that salad was sitting on this plate. He said, "Oh, I just got that salad for the looks. I ain't eating it." So yeah, I do what I was talking about. You say I'm not shaming nobody. I'm just keeping it real.
If you guys are following Tobin and Leroy Bingo, we have a new Christmas version that would count as Leroy body shaming. I want you guys to know that.
Wait, I didn't body shame anybody.
Oh, you totally did.
Past reference body shaming counts.
Come on.
We'll take a break. Speaking of Calais Campbell, he's got some thoughts on the college football playoff snubbing his school.
I bet he does.
Take a break. Back after this.
Mr. Worldwide to infinity.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Want to let you guys know we got a Tobin and Leroy exclusive today. All right. The music festival everyone is waiting for. Rockville is coming your way to Daytona International Speedway this May. And if you want to win a pair of 4-day drum mission passes, we have our last one to give away. You guys can see Shinedown, Green Day, Linkin Park, Leech Leftovers, Korn, Measle Weasels, and a whole lot more.
Wait, what? Measle Weasels.
Oh, yeah, look them up, dude.
Oh, yes.
Well, not to be, isn't Weasel already a group?
Yeah, this is not Weasel. This is Measle Weasels.
Different one for sure.
Way different, dude. Way different.
What was the other one? Leftover what?
Leech Leftovers.
Oh, yes, of course. How can anyone forget their smash hit?
Yep.
That's right. Forgot.
Yep.
All about them.
All you got to do is tune on in. We'll give away those pair of 4-day drum mission passes.
Oh, Weezer, not Weasel.
-1, dude.
That's
hey, dude, hold on.
-1.
First of all,
accuracy.
First of all, as a non-intangible, that is way outside my element. So I may get a couple of groups wrong every now and then. But the fact that I know that there's near a group, I should get credit for that.
No, your accountability has gone down the drain these past couple days.
Seriously, -1 for negotiations.
I'm not negotiating.
-1.
Well, 305 Florida man just ended it for me. He said it's Weezer, and I'm black, Leroy. Thank you. Thank you. We supposed to stick together. You could have kept that. Nobody would have known I had a way out, but no. 305 Florida man 561. And I'm black and I know Weezer. You go ahead.
Man.
Holy smokes. We don't even stick together. Like, might as well be. Right.
Sounds like Leroy's hitting his lash pipe.
Oh, Weezer.
Come on, that's
pretty good. Pretty good.
Anyway, the grand prize winner.
Oh, the Madden soundtracks. That's where he gets it from. Okay.
The grand prize winner is going to get a Rockville holiday mystery box. So keep on listening to our show. And if you guys want more information, you want to buy tickets, go to welcometorockville.com. Check that one out. A man who would be terrifying in a mosh pit, Calais Campbell.
Jeez. Yeah, he would.
He, of course, is a Hurricane legend. Played for the Canes. And he had some thoughts on Miami missing the college football playoff. Would you like to hear what he had to say, Leroy?
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm curious to know if he's going to be more in line with you or with me.
Well, let's hear what he had to say.
Yeah.
I see trees of green.
It's wrong.
Even though we know it's coming.
I know it's coming. Yes, every time.
Every time.
It's
the wrong way. It's the wrong clip.
Classic Roadrunner right into the or Coyote right into the mountain.
Yeah, this is him on missing the college football playoff.
I'm curious if you have any thoughts on the college football playoffs and you getting slighted.
Yeah, I've been having some disagreements with some of my friends that play for other teams like Alabama, and I feel a certain kind of way. I think that Miami should be in the playoffs. I think that the team is capable of beating anybody, and we can put up points at the highest level. And, obviously the selection committee has a tough job on their hands because there's so many teams that feel like they're worthy. But I don't see how you can watch Miami every game and think they're not one of the best 12 teams and have a chance to compete for a national championship. I just don't see it. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is. You know, you can't call it spilled milk, you know, and we should have, you know, won those games. But, you know, you lose 2 games against teams that are pretty good teams, you know, on the road, you know, last second, you know, I mean, they're close ball games. You know, it's not like you got dominated like some teams did, you know. You know, we just you know, lost a tough ball game on the road, which is, you know, turnovers and everything that played a role. You know, now I guess people say that we don't have any big wins, but you only beat us like a schedule. You know, you can't go and schedule, you know, better competition so you can beat better people. You just can't beat who's in front of you. But you know, I think that even the way I wish Georgia Tech would have beat Georgia. You know, I mean, they had it going, and Georgia, you know, kid made a heck of a play on that 4-for-1, forcing that fumble because he got the first down, but he forced a fumble and gave his team a chance to win, and they found a way to win it 8 overtimes. You know, and so I mean, you got to take a half to them. But I think if Georgia Tech wins that ball game, I think they can't not put Miami in. But it's just circumstantial for football. That's how it is.
Wow, yeah, he is not happy. He has a lot of thoughts on this.
I would say, I was listening to Gino Toretta the other day.
Yep.
And he kind of said it the best. If there was any person that would sway me from my opinion, it was what Gino had to say. And he said, in every sport that you play, that you witness, that you see, the first determining factor on whether you play in the postseason is the record. It doesn't matter how easy, how difficult, or what have you. Now, if 2 teams have the same record, then you can talk about all of those other, you know, determining factors. But if your record is better, then you should immediately go. That part I agree with, because college football is the only sport, and college basketball too, when they decide to 68 teams. Those 2 are the only ones where it don't matter what your record is, you still cannot get in. And so from that standpoint, when he said that, I'm like, he's right. He's right. If I'm a big proponent of, you had every opportunity to beat 2 teams and you didn't do it, and so you're at the mercy of the committee. That being said, you played 13 games and won 11, and it didn't matter.
Yep.
And that part, if I had a problem with what went on, even though I still believe you should have taken care of business yourself, that part of it really got me, in that you won 11 of your 13 games. They won 9 of their 12 games. And you're comparing the strength of schedule without comparing wins and losses. That part I have a problem with, because guess what? If you can also break down the teams. If you're going to do the teams you beat, why not the teams you lost to? 2 terrible losses.
Bad
Right.
performances.
Right. And so, like, if you're going to do one side, do the other side. Don't just pick the part of it. You're the committee. Don't just pick the parts of it that justify your decision. Look at the other stuff. Look at the 3 losses and who they lost to versus the 2 losses that Miami lost to.
And Bullshit says, boo-hoo show pony. He's a FSU fan. You want to know something, dude? It's your team's fault. You're part of the reason the schedule wasn't as impressive, with cupcakes like the Seminoles ruining the reputation of the conference.
Oof.
Mike Norvell. Idiot. We'll hear more from Calais later on, but we got to take a break. Time to get to our favorite part of a Friday and tickling Leroy's Huncy.
Coochie, coochie, coo.
Back after this.
My
huh? Oh, you fancy, huh?
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to tickle Leroy's fancy.
My fancy is tickled.
It is week 14 of the NFL slate. Let's get to it. You ready, Leroy?
I'm ready.
Starting off at 1 o'clock from Miami Gardens, Florida, at Hard Rock Stadium, the New York Jets visit the Miami Dolphins. Miami is a 5.5-point favorite at home. Does this tickle your fancy?
Yeah, it's dropping. It was six.
It was 6.5. Yep.
My fancy is tickled.
You guys still buying in, huh?
Still buying it. People still think Aaron Rodgers, he can
even
still
with
dial it up.
Sauce might be out.
Yep.
Brees all injured. Yeah, I like that. I like my odds there.
Tickle your fancy?
Yes, of course. Of course.
My fancy is tickled.
I still, for reasons I can't explain, I still feel this team will get to 9 or 10 wins. I do.
That being said, don't lose to the Jets.
No, we
don't
can't.
lose.
We can't.
I can't even imagine Monday if that happens. Oof. Hey.
Glad to be mysteriously showing up on the screen.
Yep.
Oof.
Don't. Hey,
guys, I'll make sure I work Monday, no matter what.
Mike McDaniel. Don't lose to the Jets, dude. Anyway, 1 o'clock. The Jacksonville Jaguars.
No.
Oh, fair.
Fancy not tickled.
Trevor Lawrence is out for the season. I don't even know who's playing quarterback.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones, and what are they? 8-point. Who they playing?
Oh, okay. The Tennessee Titans.
Wow, that's a tickle fight.
Tennessee is a 3.5-point favorite.
No. I might watch it just for some of the action. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. At 1 o'clock, Leroy.
I'm out.
In your old stomping grounds, Minnesota, the Kirk Cousins Bowl. The Atlanta Falcons visit the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota at 10-2 is a 5.5-point favorite to the middling Atlanta Falcons.
I just think based on the defense that they faced last week, they got no chance against this Vikings defense. But I'll be interested. I'll take a little look at these.
That NFC South, that's also a tickle fight right now. 6-6 has you atop the division. We also, another team in that division is your childhood team, the New Orleans Saints, visiting the New York Giants at 1 o'clock.
Ooh, no.
New Orleans is a 4-point road favorite.
I'm out. They started off with them 2 40-point, and it's been yikes.
Fancy not tickled.
The Philadelphia Eagles, Leroy,
I like watching that.
at 1 o'clock are hosting the Carolina Panthers, who are feisty.
Philadelphia. You know what? I'm kind of glad to see Bryce, look like he's bouncing back.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't always happen.
Philadelphia is a 13-point favorite this week against Carolina at home. I gotta think that's the biggest line of the week.
Oh yeah. All the other teams that weren't that playing each other. This is your roots right here. At 1 o'clock, the Cleveland Browns visit the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 6.5-point favorites at home. Does this game tickle your fancy? Seems like a silly question. Yes. I don't know what it is about Cleveland lately. If they only win 4 or 5 games, 2 or 3 of them against Pittsburgh or Baltimore, which is unheard of.
Very strange.
Very strange.
At 1 o'clock, a couple Pirates facing off. The Las Vegas Raiders at 2-10 visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay is a 6.5-point favorite at home. Tickle your fancy?
Yes. I want to see Tampa. I'm
fancy. It's tickled.
I'm curious to see what Tampa's got.
That's a red zoner for me.
Red zoner.
That's a red zoner. I mean, if he comes around, you can throw it up on the red zone, but not right now. I'm not dying over that one.
Right.
This one is got some big stakes in the NFC West at 4:05. The division leading 7-5 Seattle Seahawks visit the 6-6 Arizona Cardinals. Arizona is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Does this game tickle your fancy, Leroy?
Lukewarm. I may kick the tires on it, right? But I'm not overly excited about it.
Okay. At 4:25, the Buffalo Bills, 10-2, travel out west to take on the Los Angeles Rams, who are 6-6. Buffalo is a 3.5-point road favorite. Does this tickle your fancy?
Yeah, it does. It does. I like, you can't figure out the Rams. I'm still trying to figure out the Rams. Are we all trying to figure out the Rams?
My fancy is.
I spend my day just trying to, what's up with the Rams? Are they good? Are they not good? What's up with the Rams?
And then they'll go and Puka go for 150, and then the next week he'll go for 110, and they'll lose by 20. I still haven't been able to figure it out.
Marcos, have you figured out the Rams?
Oh yeah, they suck, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
They're strong.
Good. They have good wide receivers, and their quarterback a little over the hill, but he's decent. Other than that, I mean, what do they have?
Can I tell you a commercial I don't like? I don't like the Staffords in bed with each other trying to tell me what their sleep number is. I don't need to know. Keep it to yourself, Staffords.
That's hilarious.
I like it firm. I like it soft. Who cares?
I don't care what your sleep number is.
It's not important to me. It's not important to me. Ooh. Has that ever really been a marriage issue? Like, I'm pretty sure my wife and I have bought, I think, 3 beds in our life. And you know what we thought? Comfy. I've never thought, she's never been like, oh my God, how could you pick this one? No, you go there, you do the half-ass lay at the furniture store. You're this'll do. That's pretty much it. This is one of those things where the rich just invent problems. It's firm on his side, too firm. I need it to be basically a waterbed.
You know what? Let me tell you. Me and my wife did the test. Nope.
Yeah. That's it.
Nope. Kind of feeling this one. You good with this?
You good? Yeah,
let's go one more and then come back.
There are 2 things that you probably should get more testing on, but you got to decide right there. One of them is trying on shoes. You get one walk around the aisle. The other is beds. Like, you put your cheeks down, you do the lay. You don't even put your legs on it. No. And that's the decision. You got to pick.
Right.
I'm sorry, Staffords. I'm sure you're lovely people.
Yeah. Sleep number, though.
Get out of here. Who cares? At 4:25, the Chicago Bears with a new head coach because they fired that Eberflus.
Same players.
I got to tell you, if your name was Eberflus, you probably weren't going to last that long. Anyway, what
about Shane Steichen?
No,
it seems like he should be related to Sean Connery, huh?
Shane Steichen. I don't like saying his name either. The Chicago Bears visit the San Francisco 49ers, Leroy. San Francisco's a 3.5-point favorite. Of course, no Christian McCaffrey, done for the season, PCL.
Let me tell you, you want to talk about banged up. They have gone through it now for the last couple of years. And I hate watching a franchise ruin a quarterback.
Yeah,
and that's what's happening in Chicago.
Don't worry, Caleb. There'll be the Colts or the Vikings will be there for you one day. Somebody.
Yep. Well, not the Vikings, because they don't even have their starting quarterback.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen to Sam Darnold next year.
He's gonna
good this year, right?
He's either gonna go to another team that is gonna do the same thing. I think that there's a couple of teams that have been playing veterans that could use a veteran so they could draft. And now, when you look around the league, develop their young quarterback regardless of when they draft him. Because if you notice, even the young quarterbacks that come in that sit for like a month and a half, have come in and performed better than just throwing them in the fire.
Leroy, Sunday Night Football. Your former quarterback, Jim Harbaugh, and his Los Angeles Chargers at 8-4. They visit Arrowhead and take on the Kansas City Chiefs, 11-1 somehow.
Somehow, without playing any good football.
Kansas City is a 4-point favorite.
Ooh.
At home, late night.
Ooh.
Doesn't look like it's gonna be that cold.
I just think this is a field goal game because, well, I'm just going with the percentages. That's all Kansas City plays in.
What is the over-under on this? 42.5.
Oh my goodness! So 2 teams sucking the life out of a football. That sounds lovely.
Fancy, not tickled.
Is there anybody lower this week? Who's lower? Jacksonville and Tennessee, obviously. Oh, and Saints and Giants are 40.5 each. Under. It looks like on Sunday. Yeah, like it's gonna be by 8 o'clock, 49. Yeah, you're not gonna have that whole going into a cold building. Only the Chargers would get lucky like that in December. But yeah, finally, this is Monday Night Football. The Cincinnati Bengals visit the Dallas Cowboys. Cincinnati is a 5-point road favorite.
That game sounded awesome in July.
It really did. I mean, Joe Burrow is going to put up numbers. It's going to be a fun watch. Probably good for the fantasy folks out there.
But their defense.
Not a lot of juice to it, though.
Right. And who's to say that they won't sack him 12 times?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's the end of the day. I've had a long day of football. I'll start watching it. And if it sucks me in, I'll stay for a while. If not, I'll be more than happy to not watch any more football and go to sleep.
I'm sure if you're the Dolphins, the looks are you're going to root for the Chiefs because the Chargers are on a wild card spot. The other teams in front of you are all on a bye. Ravens, Broncos, Colts, all on a bye. You'll be rooting for the Cowboys because you technically have the Bengals on your heels. But if you lose again, you're screwed anyway. So you got to win. There's nobody. Everybody else is idle. So get a chance to catch some ground with them all watching from the sidelines.
Right.
That's your look. That is Tickle. Let me give you one more. UFC 310, Leroy. Alexandre Pantoja defends his flyweight title against Kai Asakara.
Amazing how you get all these names right.
Does the UFC tickle your fancy this weekend? Or I'll send you
the
highlights. Or send you the highlights.
Send me the highlights. Little guys. You know how I feel about little guys.
We will talk a little UFC in the 1 o'clock hour with our boy Anthony Smith. He's fighting Dominic Reyes. Both these guys fought John Jones. Dominic Reyes probably the closest to ever beat John Jones. A lot of people thought that he won that fight. But ever since then,
he's been not good.
He has been getting killed.
Right.
So we will talk a little UFC with him coming up in the 1 o'clock hour.
I always wonder, because, and I would guess this happens to fighters a lot. The name of the guy that you're fighting gets you to prepare a certain way.
Yeah.
And when you think you've won, how much of a letdown is it to where you figure, it doesn't matter how much I put into this? I
agree.
Because it happens a lot when a fighter loses a fight he thinks he's won, it's hard for them to bounce back.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That just tickled my fancy. Take a break. We'll get you caught up with your headlines. Heat, they're on the practice court getting ready for double action this weekend. You got the Suns and the Cavs. The Suns just lost to the Pelicans last night.
Ooh.
Meanwhile, the Cavs beat the Nuggets. Smoked them. That Sunday game is going to be a fun one. Hopefully. Or it could be embarrassing. Who knows? Cavs are rolling right now.
Dude, they're like 22 threes. I mean, it's what's amazing to me to watch Spider dunk because he's not that tall.
No, he's like 6'1", barely.
Right.
I mean, he's like 6'2", 6'1", something like that.
He gets up. Holy smokes.
Yeah. I wish him no success, though.
Why?
He shouldn't have signed that extension. Cleveland sucks.
They suck.
No, I mean the city.
Oh, what are they? 18-3?
20.
20-3?
20-3. Do you know the Wizards have lost 16 in a row?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
They had a no-win November.
Oh my God. Wow. Entire month?
Entire month. Their first loss was to the Heat in Mexico. They did not win the entire month of November.
Wow.
And guess what? Still winless in December.
Oh my goodness. Nobody got fired yet? In hockey, somebody would get fired. They already fired somebody in hockey.
I think they fired someone last year. Who is the Wizards coach?
But that's the thing right there. Look.
Who is the Wizards coach?
Brian Keefe.
Oh, dude, Keefe. Yeah, that's a patsy right there. He is there to tank. Bring them to Cooper Flag.
My favorite. Well, see, in basketball, it's not even guaranteed.
Oh, I know. It's ridiculous.
Oh.
They're trying to get bonus ping pong balls.
I mean, look, you could give them all of them and still don't guarantee nothing.
Wow. Brian Keefe. Good luck, dude. And they got
36. Like, it's not even close. Like, sometimes you go through a rut and, like, it's close. You just got to figure it out. Lost by 36 yesterday.
I'm seeing multiple games where Jonas Valanciunas is their leading scorer.
Wow.
Man. The drop-off of Jordan Poole must be studied for sure because...
Oh, the Bruins coach got fired this year.
Yep.
Wow. Hockey does not play.
No, they don't.
Hockey, you get a month of bad play, you're out. I don't care if you won the Stanley Cup, you went to the finals, it don't matter.
We'll take a break, get you caught up with your headlines. Back after this.
Afternoons of
know who's up feels like a rodeo. No.
I hope the song doesn't get in my head the rest of the day, Froggy, because this is I finally feel like I stopped doing the stupid all day.
Yeah.
I was doing that all day yesterday. Now it's back. I tried to explain to my wife the Dua Lipa thing. She wasn't very interested. She's like, who cares? I was like, you don't understand. And people are saying it's the same song. She's like, who cares?
She likes the song, though, the Morgan Wallen song.
Yeah. I mean, we listened to it because we just went on like a little small road trip up to St. Augustine, and that song probably came on, I don't know, 20 times up and, I'm not going to keep switching the radio.
Yeah.
I do love going through Central Florida, though, and hearing their radio stations. It is, as a radio professional, allegedly, I like hearing how other stations go, and I love hearing how local they sound up there. You know, like going to Billy Bob's Barbecue just sounds like a good time up there.
You know, that used to not be a thing, though. I remember, and I could be remembering incorrectly, maybe you guys know better. I remember driving in certain parts of Florida and getting no reception or signal. Like even on the way to Orlando, sometimes it'd be like a 45-minute stretch of like static or I don't know, whatever radio was in.
That's because you're trying to get your local stations way up there.
Nah, just like I don't know if Yeehaw Junction had radio back then. I'm not sure.
But don't they automatically change or something?
Hello.
Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hey.
No, I usually will like scan and find because like when I start hearing a little bit of static, I'm like, I'm out. So I move to the next one. Try and figure out what's going on.
Or do what I do. Serious.
You do serious. I know, but I like to listen to the local stuff around. Like I was driving through Daytona. This is 104.3 The Hog. I was like, whoa.
The Hog?
I was like, wow. Whoa.
Nice.
I guess it's for the bikers who come there to Daytona. The Hog.
Do you think they're going to Rockville?
Oh, 100%. Yes, definitely. Definitely have Rockville on the docket.
Do you know what I just found out?
What's that?
I'm in a pickle right now.
Ooh.
But I think I can figure this out.
Right.
So I'm on a queue right now for AC/DC.
Oh.
And their concert is going to be within the dates of Rockville. So I'm thinking, what if I go to AC/DC and then the other days I go to Rockville?
Let's get your mosh pit shoes on.
Good. Where is AC/DC? I know Rockville's in Daytona, right?
Tampa. So it's not, you know.
Wow, that is a intangibles weekend.
I know, but it's so much fun.
Daytona
and the Pretty
for
Reckless
AC
is gonna be there. Like, I have to be there.
Daytona for Rockville and Tampa for AC/DC. Wow,
pretty good. Pretty good.
You know what I've always wondered though, like, because I've never heard anybody from AC/DC really interviewed. I've just never sought it. Do they sound Australian? Because I only picture them screaming.
Yeah, right.
So, like, is this like a Struts thing? Because the Struts got very mad, obviously, with it when I tried to talk on this, love. So, like, when I talk
in the echo chamber,
it was at the poker room.
In the poker room.
When the AC/DC folks talk, do they say didgeridoo?
They're from Sydney, apparently.
Yeah, they're from Australia.
I had no
Pretty
clue.
sure they don't say didgeridoo.
I think they say didgeridoo.
They gotta say didgeridoo.
Can I just say something?
Didgeridoo.
I've never heard my cousin's
The only
wife
two
say
people that say didgeridoo is Tobin and Crocodile Dundee.
Jeez.
I just looked up what a didgeridoo is. My mind is blown. I didn't know it was an instrument. I didn't know.
He's the lead singer of AC/DC, 77 years old.
They can still rock out.
ACBC, am I right?
-1.
What?
For those about to rock in a rocking chair, we salute you.
-1.
Wow, that's so sassy.
Wow. All right. Good for them, though.
Wow.
Think they love it, or you think they got
a didgeridoo? Hey, that's a new. We got a new contestant.
Oh yeah, it's not Daytal for
These tones are cool.
Right.
so how did you write Highway to Hell? And he's like, this is a knife.
This is a knife. So please focus. You've just been saying didgeridoo for the last hour.
By the way, I'll tell you what's been all the rage lately. Love Island, Australia. They've been changing the game this season.
Really? Now it's Australia?
Yeah, it's good. Oh, it's good. Well, first of all, usually
is there a lot of drama?
Yeah, a lot of drama. Lot of these Australian men sluts. And let me tell you something. They did one of the staples of Love Island is Casa Amor, and
they're good looking.
Yeah, they're good looking. I mean, these Australians are good looking, and you send them off to Casa Amor, and then there's usually a group of people. But like lately on Casa Amor, there's usually like one that goes down, but a lot of people are feeling awkward, So they've done a new thing, and I hope that they bring this to Love Island USA. They do Hotel Amor. And what they do is the fans get to couple up everybody. So they have to go spend the night with somebody the fans think that they have chemistry with. There's hanky-panky going on.
My wife was watching a show where all of these couples that have been dating or engaged or whatever.
The ultimatum?
I don't know if that's the name of it, where you go there, then you pair up with somebody else, and then at the end of it, you can either go back to your. And I'm thinking, if you've been dating somebody for 3 or 4 years, and you commit to something like this, then you've already made your decision.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Like you've already, if you have a girlfriend and y'all go to this, whatever this thing is called, and you go and be with somebody else, then you've already made your decision. You're not gonna go back to
damage is done.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm telling you, this Love Island Australia, the Hotel Amor has changed the game.
So
Very
the fans decide.
Yep. Also, by the way, Tommy Fury backed out of his fight with Darren Till. He was supposed to fight former UFC star Darren Till. Backed out of it because apparently Darren Till threatened to kick him in the fight.
For his cheating?
I think
so he's doing an MMA fight and they can't kick?
No, they were doing a boxing match, and Darren Till's a crazy person.
Oh, well, I mean.
Well, Molly May is also doing this whole documentary on Amazon, I believe. It's coming out soon. Yeah, I just saw the commercial preview, whatever.
Is it called the Cheating Rat Bastard?
Yeah, actually.
It should be.
Nailed it.
It should be. Dave's House says AC/DC just does different versions of the same song. That's fair. Highway to Hell, Back in Black. For those about to, they're all very similar. He's not wrong about that, but they're all good. It's a good single.
They're all great. Okay, it's gonna be a vibe.
Well, I would say you want to know what AC/DC leads the music world in? Closers music. You want a good song? I mean, obviously, probably the most famous was Mariano Rivera, which was Metallica, Enter Sandman. But man, Trevor, hell was the guy's name? Trevor Hoffman, Hell's Bells. Oh, that was good. You bring in a good AC/DC song, man, that is baseball music right there. You know what? Another one that was great. Kevin Millar did TNT. A TNT, a didgeridoo.
Have they had a song? Okay, all the songs that you just mentioned right now, are they still living off the 70s and 80s? Nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think rock stars do?
I mean,
you think they had a new hit? You want to know what happened when we had a new hit? Here's exactly what happened. U2 hacked all our phones, and we were stuck with their terrible music. Once you hit it, I don't need new songs.
Yeah. All right. That's fair. I mean, you mentioned just alone like 3 to 4 songs that are like classics, so I guess that's good. That's good enough.
I still haven't heard their new album.
They have a new album out?
They are making
music. It came out like last year.
AC/DC has new music out?
Yeah.
They got hey, listen, you know what that tells me?
Did they make it over coffee and Melba toast?
Yeah, what is
the new... I don't like you guys lashing out. That's
what is the new song? Highway to Cholesterol?
A1C.
That's the point.
Oh, so wait, it was 2020. My bad. It was
Still fairly
2020.
new.
They came out with Power Up.
Yeah.
We'll take a break here on the show. Back with more to this.
I say he.
I just did my favorite move, which is start playing sound bites for telemarketers. I did not play Mike McDaniel this time. I didn't have him handy.
What was their response?
They kept saying, "Are we having signal issues?"
Oh, okay.
But what I was playing was Earl the football guy voice just going, Rockville. And that was just the answer to everything. And they were like, Sir, are we having signal issues? Rockville.
I gotta get you these Mike McDaniel drops. I really feel like you can have a whole conversation with him.
I really could. I feel like
what it is. The facts are the facts. You're the worst.
I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
You know, I anticipated this question.
Speaking of Mike McDaniel, he spoke to the media earlier today. Says he's hoping Kendall Fuller is through concussion protocol this afternoon. The expectation is he plays on Sunday, according to Barry Jackson from the Miami Herald. He said that Kendall Lamb has had a very good week getting his body right. Kendall Lamb did confirm that he was going to play yesterday.
I gotta say, I don't need people to have a good week. I need them to have a good game.
Okay.
Okay.
Just let you know what was said, dude. You know,
Yeah,
that's all. That's all I was trying to do.
All right, I got you.
I didn't want to just dismiss it. He said it. What else we got? He also said, on Bradley Chubb Cam Good. This is the one everybody's been waiting for. He said he's referring to Bradley Chubb, Cam Good, and long snapper Blake Ferguson as the window dudes. And he says it's a lot to expect them to be activated. And that they are just trying to, I guess, see how the whole week works out. But it's a lot to expect them to be activated, but it's not final that they're not going to be activated. It sounds like they're not going to play.
Yeah, it sounds like at this point. I mean, even to be honest with you, even if he were to play, it'd be very sparingly anyway. So waiting another week is not going to, ruin it.
Right.
Rockville.
That's just how I respond to that person.
Are we having signal issues?
Rockville.
Is that immature to do to a person?
No, that's good. That's good. Maybe they'll get tickets.
Rockville.
Speaking of, we will give those away coming up. But Leroy, can you get a weather update from the Demesman and Dover Law Firm? YourAccentAttorneys.com. Free consultation 24/7. Call them at 866-954-MORE.
Sure can. It's another one of those beautiful South Florida days. Hold on.
Oh, careful.
And lost my mic. All right. Looking outside, it's a very mild and calm wind. I would say maybe 5 miles an hour, 10 tops. Winds are coming out of the east. Maybe even be turning a little out of the south a little bit simply because it's warming up. And I can't see a cloud in the sky. I said that yesterday, and then it got a little cloudy in the evening. So other than that, I would say it's about 75, 80 degrees. Another beautiful South Florida winter day.
Rockville.
Sir.
Rockville.
They got to hire that guy. He's good.
He is good.
How's he not the voice of Rockville? Pretty wild. 15 minutes of game day uncensored, by the way, brought to you by your Southern Lexus dealers. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is why you stay on the nice list. Find yours and get offers on select models, but only for a limited time now through January 2nd. Make it a December to Remember. That comes your way at 9 a.m. this Sunday. Of course, myself, Solana, Adam Beasley, and Omar Kelly will get you ready for Dolphins and Jets. And the Dolphins trying to have to basically win this puppy out if they're going to have any hope at the playoffs.
Yeah, that was my prediction, but they have one game that they could lose, and they already lost it, unfortunately.
Pretty much.
Not much wiggle room, dude. Not much wiggle room.
Not much harder opponents, though, also.
Well, you have no wiggle room. They got to go on a run. Simple as that. I mean, it's unfortunate, but you are where you are.
We do have Kevin Harlow.
All the other teams are doing, like, it's still no guarantee then, because you've lost all the teams that could also be 10-7.
Yeah, the Colts schedule is weak to end the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they like the
I know they're
the Colts, a team to me 100% seem like they are a team that could absolutely lose to anybody.
Yeah,
just based on like their quarterback, you don't know what you're getting from week to week with him.
Well, they got a head-to-head with the Broncos after the bye. That's obviously a monster game. And then this is what they end with. Hosting the Titans, at the Giants, hosting the Jaguars. That's easy breezy, dude.
Yeah, but aren't they like when I think of them in the same.
Do you? They're 6-7.
All right.
Let's go, McCorkle.
The Broncos, kind of tough. They got Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Chiefs to end.
And we need do we need just one of those teams, or do we need both of those teams to lose?
I think you want both of them to lose.
I mean, yeah, but like what I'm saying is there one spot that we're vying for? Or are there two available spots?
Well, it's still kind of bunched up. Like, I guess it depends on what the Chargers do this weekend. If the Chargers win, they're going to be sitting pretty.
Yeah. Oh, you just said they're 8-4, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't.
Yeah, I would say they're sitting pretty if they win this weekend.
And they're not going to be the division winners, so they have one of the spots essentially locked in. So yeah, that last spot is going to come down to Dolphins, Broncos, and Colts.
Yeah, because they have Chiefs this weekend. They got pretty, competitive next 3 weeks. Chiefs, Bucks, Broncos. They end with the Patriots and Raiders.
Where the Broncos are in the same spot. They're, same division. So I think, I would be shocked if 3 teams from that division make it.
Rockville.
You need to grow up. You need to grow up.
Why?
Just random times. You're like, it'd be cool right now.
Rockville.
I mean, whatever his way to record them. I mean, I just figured, I'll put him to use by annoying telemarketers.
Goosies.
The guy's got a good voice. That's Earl, the voice of Game Day Uncensored.
Yeah, except for when he goes a little off course, if I'm not mistaken. Tries to experiment with a few things. Just stick to the script, buddy.
All right, here's our Leroy. I'll give you a few. Say it was real. Leroy. Leroy. Leroy.
Leroy.
Stretching out his name, we have proven it's too many E's.
Leroy.
No. Leroy. 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 It's a little bit. It's too much.
I think it should be high and then low. Leroy.
No. Leroy. Oh well,
Is
maybe.
that Lynn?
All right, I'll give it a
I
few.
will still stand by it. It sounds like Len.
It's not Len.
Leroy. 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 Leroy.
Whoa.
All right, there's a few there. You can make
Make it work.
None of them work. And get the guy who made it famous that line. Rockville.
Whoa. Same guy. Pretty good.
Speaking of, if you guys want to win those pair of 4-day passes to Rockville right now, caller number Jennifer, what do you say? What do we go with?
36,000. No, I'm kidding. 3.
Caller 3 to 305-567-0560. Caller 3 to 305-567-0560 will win a pair of 4-day General Admission passes to Rockville. If you win that, you're entered into the grand prize drawing, which is a Rockville holiday mystery box. So right now, caller 3 to 305-567-0560 wins those tickets.
Rockville.
Call now. We'll take a break, mix things up coming up next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM, streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. Miami 560 WQAM is the channel there. And you guys, a holiday favorite, the Nutcracker is coming to the Arch Center December 13th through the 24th. We got tickets to see it, so you can get in the holiday spirit. It's easy to enter. Just go to WQAM.com and head on over to the contest page to register. Let's mix it on up there, Froggy. The mixed bag is brought to you by Frog Boys Web Feet.
Formerly Webbed Feet, thank you.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Grown since then. We heard from the monster, the man, the myth himself, Calais Campbell, earlier in the show. He discussed how unhappy he was with the Miami Hurricanes not being able to compete in the college football playoff. Got a little bit more from him, and I promise I won't play the Louis Armstrong. This is actually going to be a sound clip here.
You're going to do the bit again.
You're lying.
I'm not going to fall.
Oh, no.
Minus one for
Why would I
fraudulence.
fall for it again?
No, I'm not going to do it, guys. Or will I? This is Calais Campbell, potentially, on the SEC not being what it used to be.
And I also think that the SEC this year is not the same as it's been in years past. I don't know if it's because of, the NIL, whatever it is, but the parity across the league, across all conferences, has been way different. I've seen a lot of SEC teams lose early in the year when they played against teams outside the conference, and then go into the conference and dominate. So, I don't get it, but it is what it is. But I think the record should matter too. They got 3 losses, and only one of them I think is, a good loss in theory, if there is a good loss, But, once again, though, if you win, you have to worry about it. But I do think that they overvalue the SEC this year. But I guess when the playoffs come and we see, what happens, we'll see, see how it goes. But I'm an avid football fan. I love football, and I think the playoffs is a great addition. Going to 12 teams instead of 4. I think just more football, more games that matter is good for the sport. And so I'm just happy that we have these conversations. But I do wish Miami was in.
Wow. Put him on the committee.
He makes all valid points other than we got screwed, right? And so I could appreciate that, he's right, that you go into a season saying SEC and Big Ten. But when you watch them play, you also have to be big enough to say, nah, this ain't what the SEC been the last few years. Look at Alabama losing to Vanderbilt. Look at Alabama and how they lost to Oklahoma. They ain't up the upper echelon SEC team. They're not. And I think you got to be able to ebb and flow with these seasons from year to year, no matter what the conference is. It's the same thing with the Big Ten. Right now, you got what? 3 teams in the Big Ten, and Indiana was a shocker.
By the way, speaking of former Canes on the Dolphins, you guys see this Jaelan Phillips still beating science? Like already. Just posting this on the ground. Look at him. He's already starting to beat science again.
Yeah, look, Leroy, he's barefoot. Remember what you said about that?
On his way to 2-0 versus science.
How does he beat science twice in 1 year?
It's incredible.
He's good.
Wow.
Did you ever show him the aquatic backpack or whatever it was?
Not. No, I did not.
That was good.
It was good. It was good. On one leg.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Leroy, come on. You can't deny that.
Admit it. He's a science beater.
Science beater.
You would at least admit he's not on the same timeline as people. If it wasn't for Jordan Poyer ruining science, he'd still be on the field today.
Bastard.
He has a strong mindset.
Secret agent.
Yeah. I kind of tend to agree with you, Karen S.
If he beat science in the first place, he never would have gotten hurt. No, that's not. See, you guys don't know. Like,
come on.
That's not what that means.
You would agree
Not
with
that
Karen.
mindset.
Come on. The water bag was a baby Bjorn for me. No.
What else you got in the mixed bag, Marcos?
Well, unfortunately, in South Florida, our wheelbarrows have spider webs on them. It's been quite some time since we've made any moves worthy of a wheelbarrow performance.
If anything, we have tumbleweed balls.
Tumbleweed balls galore.
Yep.
And you know what?
I don't like you guys saying that.
Sorry. Tumbleweed cajones.
That makes it better.
Leroy doesn't care, though, personally, what kind of balls we have. He just knows he's not going to pay a certain price for them.
I don't give a rat's ass what kind of balls they are. They ain't $6.49 a piece.
Sure.
I want to go this weekend and try those
The
Publix
risotto?
risotto balls. Yeah.
Well, you better bring $36.
I know. Better bring some Apple Pay. Because like
Bring a camera and a Sharpie for
I'm
your
going to
game.
ask for a sample. Let's see if that works.
Ask for an autograph from Danny DeVito, too, while he's doing his job.
They knew exactly who I was talking about. They go, who's back there? Who told you that? I'm like, Danny DeVito.
How did he escape from Jersey Mike's? What else? What else you got in the mixed bag?
Jared Goff discusses fourth down scenarios, which were key to Detroit's victory yesterday. This is the Lions quarterback.
Dan had mentioned that early in the week that he was going to really lean on our offense to make some things happen and certainly be aggressive on fourth down if the opportunity presented itself. And there at the end, I know he was kind of in between on what he wanted to do and obviously made the right decision.
Jared Goff is like the wrestler with no personality, but he has like the coolest wrestling manager who can just give him personality. Like, because it's basically like, man, they have probably the coolest team in the league, but their quarterback is Jared Goff, who I'm not saying sucks, but man, is he boring.
And he gets excited. He gets credit for being on a team with some guys.
Yeah, it's just it's not even that he's bad. I'm just like, oh yeah, Jared Goff speaking, like great, awesome. I don't know, swagless, I would say.
Yeah, there's some quarterbacks like Tom Brady didn't have no swag. No.
He had more confidence.
Yeah, but that's no. I mean, who could we? Okay, I got one for you.
Yep.
Seattle quarterback.
Russell Wilson?
No. He's the Steelers quarterback.
Oh,
I'm talking about Jawbreaker.
Gino's got swag. Gino's got an all-time quote.
Oh,
they wrote Gino off, and I didn't write back. That's a good quote.
Come on now, and that's a Miramar High School alumni. How dare you?
Okay.
Discuss.
All right.
If I were to say, I would say he's kind of like pre-Browns Flacco. That's what
how about wait. Right.
To.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about? I can't even say that. He's in commercials. I was gonna say Brock Purdy, but
Purdy's a good one. That's a good one. It's a good one.
Purdy's pretty.
Oh, Daniel Jones.
Oh yeah. Marcos that was the most annoying thing about your Super Bowl watch party last year was just Marcos just looking and then trying to convince me on Brock Purdy, just going mobile. You
dude.
ruined the Super Bowl for me.
No way.
That's what we talked about.
I can't wait till this year and you have to sit through Kendrick Lamar.
Oh, that'll be good.
We'll see.
He did make sure to send us some Drake stuff though.
Well, I just want you guys to know the #1 streaming artist.
Also,
every
you
month.
be doing these things at such random times.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Like
you
this,
need to
like
relax.
yeah.
Like this man lives rent free in your head.
Not to box old Aubrey in, but
No.
wasn't his lawsuit that Spotify's numbers were souped up?
Yeah, they cheated for the wrong player though. Wrong
Wait,
player.
but how could he be #1 if?
Well, so how could he be #1? How does he know it's legitimate? If
That's
he's
that
suing.
I see what you're saying there.
No. He did that before the numbers came out.
Wow, that's pretty good. That is pretty good.
You're obsessed. You have a problem.
Well, just because I may or may not wake up to take the Cleveland Browns to the Super Bowl at 5 a.m. and happen to come
5 a.m. What is wrong with you?
Very
What'd you
weird
eat that night, dude. You're getting woken out of a slumber.
I wanted to punch you when I heard my phone go off.
What are you eating? A jalapeno pickle before you go to bed?
I'll tell you what I mean. You may appreciate this. If Tommy's listening, you may want to cover his ears. Because I, on Sunday, decided to purchase $100 worth of Chipotle catering, which is about 10 meals worth is what they're saying. And I've been eating Chipotle every damn day. I got some wings in the fridge right now. It's totally worth it. If you want a meal prep, don't want to cook, Chipotle.
Yeah, but reheating rice and
I got a method though. You reheat the rice first with a little bit of water by itself. Then it comes out. Then you add the beans, chicken, and cheese, reheat again, and then you add the cold stuff. There's a process to this. Okay.
So
interesting.
Wait. Let me hold on. Because
What's
this will go down in history
as a very efficient move, right?
Damn it, thing. So you bought
correct
instead of meal prep.
No, this is meal prep.
This is his meal prep.
Doing it yourself like normal people and put it in a little container.
Yes, correct.
You bought Chipotle.
Yeah.
$100 worth of Chipotle, and then you make the no wonder your stomach hurt.
That's fair.
When you do Chipotle every day,
your stomach is waking.
Your stomach is telling you when we going. You ain't telling your stomach when we going.
So you're in the midst
even
of,
though I don't go in public, right? I am when I know I'm gonna be on the road for a while. I am careful about my intake.
This guy's in the middle of REM sleep and wakes up like Tyson Fury in the 12th round. Like,
woo! Now it's time to go.
Hey, wait, you have never like had to go and then say, "Oh, I got another hour of sleep, so I'm just gonna go back to sleep and hold it."
I try to tell my body no. The Chipotle says yes. My mind's telling me no. But Chipotle.
So you're really proud of that Drake Instagram post?
Yeah, I mean, because it just shows, even though they try to take him down, they try to big up. Which, by the way, how many songs have you guys heard from the Kendrick Lamar album?
0.
Exactly, dude. Exactly. Mediocre album.
How much? But no.
Okay.
Who's
Leroy,
actually?
how many have you heard?
No.
JFig?
5.
We got 3 music snobs on, and no one's heard anything.
I'm not a music snob.
Oh, but you got serious.
Look, I can be a snob.
He's already won though. Like I don't have to watch. I don't have to listen to the other art. Like he already put in the death knell, so it's over.
Yeah, the only time I heard Kendrick Lamar's album was 5 a.m. when I was, removing the Chipotle from my body.
First of all, you weren't removing the Chipotle. The Chipotle was leaving.
It was a bit of itself in my body.
I had an exit strategy.
That corn.
That can't be good.
That corn salsa.
Rice every day.
Marcos,
Rice.
please go to the doctor. Make sure you're okay.
That corn, durable. Tell you what. Absolutely. Durable.
I would hold back on the corn.
More durable than flies.
So wait, does it come in like a big box?
Yeah, so they got a big box of the chicken, big box of the rice, and then smaller boxes of like whatever 2 toppings you want, as well as cheese.
You, like, not that I hate the idea, but shouldn't you do something with like a little less spice, like pollo?
Yeah, but
that's
Chipotle is not spicy.
No, but they go a little overboard in the.
They're throwing a lot into that chicken, Leroy. They're throwing a lot into that chicken.
Yeah, like I can't give the chicken to my child because they'll be like, "What's going on here?"
He could go a little blander at Pollo Tropical and maybe not have the Inferno wake him up out of the sleep.
Yeah, but I tell you the problem with that though. I did that for my son's first birthday. We did catering pollo, so I had it for like 4 or 5 days in a row, and I was like, enough of this already. But this one, I'm 5 days deep into Chipotle, and I'm loving it.
I don't get Chipotle either. I gotta be honest with you, it's really good.
I gotta tell you.
Oh, good, dude.
I gotta tell you, like
I've hacked the system, Leroy. I understand.
No, the system is hacking your ass every time.
You got malware in your intestines.
You know what? This is exactly what you guys are saying.
You're gonna send us a text and say we're offline, we're working on it. We filled out a ticket.
And meanwhile, who's doing this?
Oh yeah, dude.
Dan Campbell would approve of my choices. Mike McDaniel would be judging it like you guys. Soft. This one.
Mike McDaniel looks like the type of guy.
Chipotle 5 days in a row.
Yeah.
I bet you it's been. This is no lie. I bet you it's been 6 or 7 years since I've had Chipotle.
It's been like 2 weeks.
Why are you so angry, Leroy? You need more Chipotle in your life.
No, that's not my thing.
You know what? I'm taking everybody out for a Christmas dinner. We're going
Chipotle?
to Chipotle.
No, because it's the rice, dude. I hate any kind of wrap or anything like that. That the main ingredient is rice.
You don't have to put.
You can get tacos.
If I get it without rice,
you can put it in the
then
lettuce.
it's tiny.
You can get a quesadilla. They're pretty good there.
Quesadillas are pretty good. And they also gave me tortillas. It's amazing.
You are a tortilla.
Yeah, dude. I can't. This baffles me.
Are you leaving now? Are you leaving in shame after this?
Yeah, I gotta use the bathroom. I'm not gonna lie to you right now.
Take a break. Back after this.
WQA.
All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Steve, did Marcos make you play that? Like, was that like his, or did you pick Drake to bring yourself in here for the afternoon?
No, we definitely collaborated.
You're
on
such
that.
a bastard.
Wow!
Don't let him bully you and make you. You pick whatever songs you want. You don't have to go by whatever he says.
See, he's not used to having any collaborators in the building, so now he could get somebody else to play his music, and now he think he got a partner in crime.
I'm the fall guy.
Yes, you're the fall guy for this. This is how it's going to work for you. Let's get to headlines here, brought to you by Doral Kia. At Doral Kia, choose from over 500 new Kia miles in inventory, like the Sportage, the Sorento, and the Telluride. Remember, when it comes to Kia, the great deals are at Doral Kia. Some news from Heat practice, Leroy, and that is that Pelle Larsson apparently turned his ankle. This is from Anthony Chang. Pelle Larsson turned his right ankle towards the end of today's practice. His status for tomorrow's game will be determined later.
Of course it is. We get more rolled up ankles with guys not even playing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Practice injury.
I mean, you want him to practice hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, according to the way these guys are, you better practice hard or you're going to be in the G League.
Anthony says that everybody took part in today's practice other than Kel'El Ware and Josh Christopher, who are in the G League. Josh Christopher had 30 points last night. Great performance in the G League for the Heat. They'll be back in action.
Just have a G League game.
What do you mean, dude?
Just bring all the guys from the G League.
I mean, they might. Eventually.
All right.
There could be one of those games. We actually had some of those a couple of years ago where it felt like everybody was out. They did bring guys from the G League.
That's how Drew Smith got his role, his comeuppance.
Yep. Anyway, the game is tomorrow. We have a couple of games this week. Now, mind you, I just want to let everybody know, if you have Heat tickets tomorrow, I'm telling you this right now, plan your ass accordingly because it's hot muzzle.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
Okay. You
don't want to be like JJ Redick.
You don't want to be like JJ. Don't be like JJ Redick. Okay. You want to get your ass down there. 8:00 is the tip. Okay. Maybe you got like a little wiggle room of like 5 minutes for the anthem. But I'm just letting you know, if you have Heat Suns tickets for Sunday, for tomorrow, 8:00, I would leave by now.
I'm glad you said JJ Redick. I thought you were going to say me for a second.
No, but JJ Redick was late.
You do have to watch that slow train by the arena, JFig.
Well, I'll figure out a strategy for Sunday.
Mind you, if you have tickets for 6:00 on Sunday for the Heat, you can leave tomorrow morning.
Got it.
So you got a little bit more leeway, but Heat have a big doubleheader. Is this a measuring stick for you, Leroy? Do you feel like this is a good test for the Miami Heat, or no KD? It's not as juicy. It all goes to Sunday, or you just want to rack up wins?
That's how I think this time of year, right? I don't care. Are other teams saying that when Jimmy was out? I don't care. Just win games, because at the end of the year, it ain't going to be a situation where, oh, KD missed that game. No, they're going to look at your record and say, do you qualify for the playoffs? So it's unfortunate. Sure, you would like to see KD play, but if it means it gives the Heat a better chance to win, I want them to get as many wins as possible, because Jimmy going to miss some games. Some guy, is Tyler going to stay hot? You don't know all these things, so get them while you can. Don't worry about all that other stuff. Please. Right now, the Heat have proven they can beat anybody and they can lose to anybody, because third quarter is always there.
They have what's the embarrassing loss they have this year though? I feel like that was more last year. They had a lot more stinkers. You're like, what's the embarrassing? I mean, the most embarrassing loss they have this year is Spo for getting out of timeout, right? To Detroit.
What about the one they lost by 30?
To Boston?
Yeah.
It's Boston, though. They kill everybody.
Okay, but that's if you want to know if that's a barometer of where you are, then that would be more of an indication than playing the Suns.
Interesting. Okay. But Jimmy didn't play that game either.
That's why you rack them up. Rack them up. You don't know what tomorrow. Listen, all you know about is what could happen today in this game. You don't know what could happen for the next game, the games after that, because like the Heat are famous for guys score 30 and then be out 3 games with a sore something. So get the wins. Just get as many wins. They lost to Orlando, but Orlando's not bad. Orlando's not bad.
Orlando's good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Orlando's good.
So,
good.
like, I know they say I don't believe they can beat anyone and lose. Yeah, but here's why I say that. Because the Heat do have the ability to get hot from 3, where everybody's just draining threes. They also have the ability for third quarter, where they could lose to anybody. So watching these games and seeing the scores they have and the abilities they have on the offensive end, like I do think any team in the NBA could get hot and beat another team.
Well, they got these coming up tomorrow. Dolphins in action, 1 o'clock on Sunday. Game Day Uncensored gets going at 9.
Let me tell you. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
All my football watching is probably going to be on Sunday. I'm frustrated and just disappointed. I might watch Saturday, but I'm watching Saturday for chaos. I want chaos. I want teams because here's the deal. You take and put Georgia and Alabama atop your conference, no matter what. You say that's our 2 best teams. What if Texas goes and beats Georgia by 30? You see what I'm saying?
Just embarrasses Georgia. You think they're not going to drop Georgia out?
You think if they lose by 30, they can't get dropped out?
I don't think so.
See, and that's the like in 3 weeks, Miami dropped 8 spots.
We've already seen it. Don't make if they do drop them out, they'll swap them out for South Carolina.
What?
Yep.
What happens if SMU gets pummeled?
Pummeled?
They won't because they scored too many points.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I get you.
I personally believe that 2 ACC teams are going to go. I think so. I don't think you're going to do 1. But that being said, the only way that could happen is if Clemson wins.
We'll take a break. More to come here on the program. Talk a little UFC coming up this hour with Anthony Smith and Aljamain Sterling. UFC 310's coming up tomorrow as well. Monster card ahead. They are 2 of the big names on it. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with ya. 560 WQA. What are you eating, dude?
I think it was pizza.
No,
I didn't hear what you just said. What did you say?
I am eating some deliciousness. It is a maple French toast. Bagel.
What are you, a lumberjack? Maple French toast. Can I just ask, how many times are you rating Einstein's bagels? I mean, you're getting the variety pack.
No.
Okay, dude.
No.
That's a fancy ass bagel.
I go in the morning and I get my egg and turkey sausage on 6 cheese. It's a roll.
Six cheese?
Yeah, a bagel has a hole in it. This one's a roll.
You and Marcos are almost on the same level.
But then when I was there this morning, I say, wow, maple French toast. I say, I'll kick the tires on this because you could toast it up and then dip it in some syrup. But I didn't feel like fighting the syrup.
I don't know, dude. You would look like you were finger licking, like you were having a good time with it.
Oh no, because I put some what do you call that?
Butter?
Cream cheese on it.
Oh.
How far is Einstein's from you?
Right now he's customer of the month, so it's obviously close enough.
I don't know, because then if it's far from him, it might be a problem.
It's literally like I've left the house when I was doing the home show at 9:30 and got back at 9:50. That's ordering and making. Okay. So it's close.
Not bad.
It is close. It's close. Too close.
Mine with traffic is just like almost an hour.
I actually have 2 within about 5 or 6 miles, but the one is 1.5 miles. And the thing is, you got to go early because these jokers run out of bagel. How you run out of? You're a bagel place that closes at 2:30. What is the one thing you should run out of? Bagels.
So people are still going to Einstein's Bagels.
Apparently so.
Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. Don't sleep on them.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I never hear someone say, I just got a bagel at Einstein's.
Yeah, because there's not many of them.
Here in Florida.
There's not many of them. Like, I don't know about their coffee. I don't like, I ain't in all that. But I am good. I am good with a nice, I don't even like bagels, but these are like rolls.
Because you don't like bread?
Yeah, they're too chewy.
You used to scoop them out. That's what you told us.
Yeah, you used to scoop them out. Yeah.
That was his whole plan.
Like it's real chewy bread. You can't even if you toast it, it doesn't do right. But these rolls.
That's what I'm excited about with going to Big Face Coffee. I want to see what kind of pastries they got there as well.
Really?
I feel like it's going to be very, very fancy.
No,
one would think.
I picture Jimmy saying this is a coffee shop.
You think so?
It looks really nice. Did you see the layout?
I haven't seen the layout. I want to go in eyes open JFig and just experience it for the first time.
I ran into the picture, but it's fancy.
There's football tonight, right? Yeah.
Is there?
Yeah. All of the championships start tonight.
Yeah, Boise and UNLV is tonight on Fox.
That's another one. Because here's the problem. You want Boise to win.
Yeah, because you don't want UNLV sneaking in.
Yeah, but the way they have them figured, it's either one or the other.
I think Mountain West is only getting a team, dude.
No, wait. They're not part of the 5, right? It's the highest ranked champion that gets the automatic.
I think they are, because I think the Pac-12's not. Like that.
No, but it's just the 4. It's the 4 conferences, and then it's the highest ranking of all of the other champions get an automatic bid.
Gotcha. Well, champions, we will talk to one of them. Former bantamweight champ Aljamain Sterling got a monster banging UFC card coming up. UFC 310. The Funk Master himself will stop by alongside our favorite UFC analyst, Anthony Smith. We'll talk some fighting coming up next. Here with you. All right, we got a big fight weekend ahead. You guys know we love getting the action on the fighting. We love getting the insight on the fighting. So we got a couple of great UFC guests coming up here with UFC 310 on the horizon. First off, he's going to be fighting Dominic Reyes, one of our favorite guests, one of my favorite ESPN analysts, Anthony Lionheart-Smith, joining the show. And this guy is one of the best to talk fighting with in the business. Anthony Lionheart-Smith joining us here. He's taking on Dominic Reyes this weekend. Very fired up for it. Anthony, thanks for the time again, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no worries, man. Thanks for having me.
You were recently down here. You were recently in Miami visiting studios and doing a little bit of broadcasting. How did you enjoy our city?
It was cool, man. I was actually down there training with Dean Thomas. And so we have our radio show at SiriusXM. So we just took advantage and used the SiriusXM studios while we were down there. And Dean and I had a good time.
Is there something about how have you gotten down here often? Is this is there a certain thing about the city you liked particularly?
I worked the pay-per-view where O'Malley won the belt off of who took the belt from? Or no, he defended
against Cheeto.
So I was there for that and had a good time. And then but Dean Thomas lives in that area, so kind of just following him around. But I do like Miami, man. It's a cool city.
Yeah, I was blown away in that building how many people from Ecuador came to see Cheeto, because I thought that was kind of going to be like the Sean O'Malley show, and I feel like he walked into a road game and he wasn't like he was. I found it surprising. I know how like Latin our city is, but Cheeto had said, he goes, well, I already get a hero's welcome, even not being champ. And I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool thing. I was not prepared for how many people were there to see that, man, in that building.
Yeah, it was crazy. And it was really cool to see how many people were there for Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
Kind of like that was one of the wildest crowds that I've seen in a long time.
So this upcoming fight against Dominic Reyes, I mean, you guys have been at the top of this division for a very, very long time. This is, feels like it's impossible to be a boring fight. What are the things about him that you've been, I guess, most in tune with as you're getting ready for this one?
I just am like, even though he's had some adversity and stuff, I've always been a fan of his style. Like, no matter what happens, Dominic Reyes is in exciting fights. We've never really had too many personal interactions, a couple here and there, but he's just an incredible athlete, man. He's really explosive, crazy fast, really accurate. And like he's got to get some credit for his mentality. Like, no matter what, that dude is a dog. And sometimes his durability has, has betrayed him at times. It hasn't steered him away from still stepping into the fire every time he fights. And you got to appreciate that about the guy, that he's willing to fight for sure. And I like that.
I'm just interested on your perspective on this, because we've been talking a lot this week. There's been a lot of talk from the Dolphins fallout their loss on Thanksgiving, because it said like a warm weather team can't go to the cold and like play as tough, which I think is a little bit nutty, because football players are amongst the toughest athletes. Nobody's as tough as fighters. But for somebody like you, I mean, we've seen you walk through literal like broken teeth, all types of things in a fight. Do you find like are there little things that could mess with you in fighting that just can throw you off your game, or do you think like as many years as you have in a cage, nothing could like really mentally shake you in a fight? Because I find it strange that like for the Dolphins, a cold weather thing, and even their opponents were saying it could mess with them that much, but I don't know, because I'm not that level of crazy and tough like you guys are.
At this point, no, there's not too many things that are gonna throw me off. I think my biggest challenge has always been my focus. Like sometimes I get bored. Like when I'm in there and it's not super exciting, or I don't have a guy that really wants to step into the fire and really go. Sometimes I do find myself getting distracted and forcing the action when I shouldn't. I think that's always been my biggest, at least in the last 10 years, been my biggest problem, is just staying focused in there and not just kind of letting the lack of action bore me. Because then I start looking around in the crowd and seeing like, oh, there's Tom Brady, I just start getting bored. Because I need like a healthy dose of danger. Dominic Reyes is one of those guys you can't he'll have my full attention.
Do you remember like at what point in your career it got to that point where you become such a vet that like you're like, oh no, this is not, I don't have the juice here like I probably should?
No, it had happened times before, and I just had to kind of recheck myself and get through it. But it happened a little bit in the Jones fight where I was just frustrated and bored, like just wasn't going the way that I wanted it to. Not just because of like wasn't winning, but because it wasn't like it didn't feel like a real fight. I felt like we were in this weird, funky ass competition, and it wasn't fun. That's like one that stands out for sure.
Like, what did you make of his return pretty recently against Stipe? What did you think of his performance off the injury?
I thought he looked good. I thought he looked smaller, which made him more impressive than he was in the Cyril Gahn fight. He moved really well. I think Stipe had a good showing of himself. You know, this guy's in his 40s. He's been through the ringer. He's been doing this for a really long time. I thought that he made John work for it.
Do you buy into the idea, like the whole ducking thing? Like people were doing that with John because of the Aspinall thing, which obviously if I as a fan, I'm greedy. I want to see it. But I also understand, like, as a guy who I guess builds the legacy as much, you want to be rewarded for it? Or do you feel like as a guy at the top of the sport, is there like a fight responsibility to like hold the guard and pass it off to the new? Like, what do you make of all the John Aspinall stuff?
Damn, man, now you're gonna have me sitting here defending John Jones, and I hate that. But no, man, I kind of feel for John a little bit. Like he doesn't like you said what you say at the end. Like some like the big name guys have a responsibility to like. I don't think John owes anybody anything. Like I think he's deserved the right that if he wants to retire, then go retire. And I'll tell you this, John Jones is not afraid of anybody. What he is very petty, and if you attach yourself to John, or you attack John, or you come at him in a certain way that he doesn't like, he's petty, and he's not going to give you what you want, and he's going to make it really difficult for you. And I know that Aspinall feels like I'll just keep poking and poking and poking and poking. John Jones is not the guy you want to poke. He's really not. He'll make your life real, real difficult, and that's not in the octagon. It's outside of it. He can make your life very difficult, and he thrives in that and really loves it and doesn't care that you know it. So I think Aspinall would have had a better opportunity if he would have stayed very quiet and let the people kind of dictate what they want to see and not really come at John like that. Because what John is more than petty is he's prideful, and he has a healthy ego. And if the world thinks that guy's going to beat you, then John will go handle that. But if it's just you being an asshole, John is going to make it difficult for you.
You're taking on a guy, you both have had the common opponent with Dom coming up. Do you find yourself like, are you worried and do you have to prepare for a guy that took John Jones to the brink? A lot of people thought that he even beat John Jones. Like, when you're preparing for this, do you look at the most recent version of him, or do you feel like what the guy is at the peak of his powers, or do you not know that until a fight night?
No, man, it's only fair that if we're going to look at the John Jones fight and say, well, he got really close, and I think he beat John Jones. He also got starched by Ryan Spann. So I mean, it's not fair to just look at the positives. You got to look at them both. I think that's the same guy, though. I had long said that when John ran into someone that matched his physicality and his athleticism, like they matched his size and his athleticism, and he was going to have a tough time. Like insert Dominic Reyes. Like John he struggled with Alexander Gustafsson in the same way. It's a guy that matched him physically. And was close enough to push him athletically. I think Reyes had a fantastic game plan. I think sometimes styles make fights, and that style really worked out for Reyes. For being honest, I think when John fought maybe me, Thiago Santos, and Dom, I think maybe he was a bit distracted and a bit uninterested at that point in his career. So I don't know. I think Dominic's the same guy. He like technically he is what he is. Like he's like what we've seen of him in the last however many years is what he is. Now is he going to make smarter decisions and game plan better and decide to walk down those roads in different ways? Then I think it comes down to a mental thing in his approach. But technically, and what he is physically as an athlete, that's just what he is.
I want to get your thoughts on this just because you're one of my favorite analysts when you work the desk. You always have like just great background stuff on like what you always hear stuff in the camps. Like the stuff you bring to the fans is different from everybody else. So I always appreciate that with you. With Shavkat versus Ian Gary, with them spending times in camps or having that knowledge, I know this happens in the sport, but like how much is that a benefit or a tell when guys are getting ready for the real deal and they are going to end up fighting?
Yeah, I think them training together is a big deal. I think that matters. I think we can go back to a couple different scenarios of guys that have trained together or spent time together or around each other. You can kind of see in their interactions who is the alpha between those two. So we go back to like Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman, like both very, very confident, both very sure of their abilities to win. But you could tell in the first 30 seconds of that fight who won most of those rounds when they trained. Like you could tell in their interactions which one of those guys was the alpha. And I think that it's very similar with Shavkat and Ian Gary. You can tell in their mannerisms, seeing them walk around. Like just as a fighter myself, I'm not going to put it out there because it's not fair for me to talk about those guys behind the scenes when they're not in front of cameras and things that the public's allowed to that they're allowed to take in. But I can tell you which one of those guys probably won those rounds by seeing how they act and like what their interactions are. And both of them know who's probably going to win the fight. Like they probably, between the two of them, like whoever was losing most of those rounds probably is thinking like, I know that I have the abilities. It's been a long time since we've trained. It's been a couple years. I've gotten a lot better. I could do this, this, and this. But like deep down, they both know who's likely to win this fight. It's kind of like Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Like everyone thought that Errol Spence was the guy. But I've seen those two interact with each other behind the scenes. It was very clear that Terrence Crawford was the alpha and Errol Spence wasn't. But in front of the cameras and stuff and with people, everyone else was hard to tell, and Terrence looked quiet. But like everybody that's seen anything behind the scenes knew exactly how that fight was going to go.
God, I was in the building for that. That was one of the coolest performances I've ever seen. Just mastered
Terrence
the
looked
peak.
shocked.
No, he didn't.
And did Errol Spence look shocked?
No.
Like he wasn't. He kind of knew like there was the likelihood of that happening was pretty good.
Hey man, I always appreciate your time, Anthony. Thanks so much. Best of luck against Dominic Reyes. Always love watching the cage and your broadcasting. One of my favorite guests to talk to, man. So thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Freaking love that guy. Now we got a former champ in the building, Aljamain Sterling, the Funk Master, joining us here on 560 WQAM. Thanks for the time, champ. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, guys.
It's I got to ask you about this, man. We had your boy Chris Weidman on before the fight he just had scheduled, and he told us a story. I need to know from you if this is legit or not. I kind of feel like he was trolling, so I need to get it from a guy who knows him well. He claims that he was this close to getting a spot in Happy Gilmore 2, that he had the hookup with Kevin James, that Adam Sandler was all set, and that they saw a video of him golfing. He was so bad that they took him out of the movie. I love the story if it's true. I feel like he's trolling us. What is the truth there?
I mean, possibly he does. He is pretty good friends with Kevin James, so I will say that. So maybe there was some truth to that. I don't actually know. I think he mentioned that before, but I can't say for certain.
All right. I was hoping we'd get to the bottom of it with you. It was kind of goosey to see all three of you together again, though. Like that was. Does that always mean? Does it mean something special to be on a card with him and have this moment with him and this week with him?
Yeah, we fought in Boston together. It wasn't a great night, but hopefully this one's a much better night. I just like fighting with people on the team. I think it makes it more fun. When I first came into the sport, we would travel as teammates and everything with the team bomb squad guys, and we'd be road warriors because MMA in New York was illegal, still banned. So we would travel to PA, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, like all these different places to go fight, New Jersey. So I enjoyed that. Like coaches, everyone's shacked up in one room just because no one's really getting paid. So I like this. This is nice. It's cool.
Does it go right back to like the early days with you guys, as far as like you guys have now all done it, you, Marab, and Chris, you've all made it to the top. Like you've all gotten to the mountaintop, but I imagine you've had so many hard days together where like you were all fighting to get there. So when you guys are all together like that, does it immediately go back to the old days, or does it feel like, is it reflective? What are those times like these days?
I think it's still nice. Obviously we're getting close to business. So things are a little bit more serious, but it's still a good time, good energy, a few laughs here and there, and just checking up on each other. So that's just pretty much how it is right now. And I think right after we make weight, things are going to be a little bit more loose, and we can relax a little bit.
So you're taking on Mavzar Evloev. What do you make of this matchup? He hasn't lost yet. You know, this is a kind of a riddle nobody's been able to solve. You are very good at solving these types of things, being as good as you are. So what are the challenges you think he presents?
I think good grappling, good control on the ground, pretty good cardio, decent striking, very basic, but very decent striking. I think he's solid there. I don't think he's really got like holes in his striking offense or defense. I think he's a solid dude all around. I think he's got a tough style for anyone. So it's an interesting matchup.
What do you have made recently? There's been a lot of talk of like champions, of guys ducking one another, and I think it's kind of crazy talk because you guys are all in the promotion. You all usually end up fighting who you have to fight anyway. So like the thing with like John Jones and Aspinall, you've had to deal with this too. They're like, oh come on, man, you're ducking, and I feel like this stuff is crazy with somebody when you reach the top of the sport like you do. Do you find like this stuff annoying from fans? Does it come with the territory of all that chatter that comes with being atop the sport?
No, not really. I mean, they're just uninformed. They don't really know what goes on behind the scenes, so they talk on what they see in headlines, and not all the time they actually read the whole article. So, and they come up with these crazy conclusions in their brain and start spewing it out on the internet. It is what it is. You just got to be able to tune that stuff out.
Because it was that was like the thing with your boy Marab recently, when the fight ends up happening, and I'm just thinking, like, when I'm watching all this, I'm like, I couldn't imagine anybody like really saying, no, I'm not going to fight that person at all stakes because of what you guys do for a living. It's insane. So I don't imagine many of you ducking anybody that's in the sport that you do.
Yeah, I believe Umar had a successful debut, and Marab called him out. He said he would like to welcome him to his next fight, and that never got made. And then after he fought Jan, it just got weird. But even after he won the belt against O'Malley, they asked him about him, and they said he said, I would fight anyone the UFC puts in front of me. But does he think he deserves a shot? No. And I think anyone who believes in the purity of the sport would agree. So with that said, it is what it is. Now they're fighting. I do wish it was a little bit later in the year, just because, he's been helping me with my fight camp and stuff. But we'll get him ready. I got to make sure I can have a safe fight where I can turn around and get in there and help him out.
What's usually the turnaround for you like that? Like how much break do you like to give yourself if you were to help him with the camp that's that important?
I mean, when I would cut to 35, I would need at least 2 to 3 weeks, maybe 4, depending on injuries. We'll see. So far at 45, the first one with Cater was pretty nice, so I didn't get banged up too much, but the training camp was a little tough. I only needed about a week. So we'll see how this fight goes, and maybe I could get back in there the following week or 2, something like that. Either way, I'm going to be there to help him, whether it's technical or actually physical, and giving him some work and some positional training to correct some stuff, fix some stuff, tighten some things up. And the cardio is already on point. He's, like I said, he's been in camp with me, so I'm not worried about that. I just feel a champ, especially a new champ, shouldn't have to fight sooner than 6 months, just so they can enjoy their parade and do all the things that most champions get the time to do. I just think that's just more fair.
How proud of you were you that he got to the mountain? You guys were kind of like the bantamweight version of DC and Kane. Like, it was so cool that, you did get your reign and then he got his moment. So, I mean, just to see him as a friend and a training partner to get to the mountaintop, how much did that mean to you?
Oh, so it's everything, man. People were trying to pit us against each other, saying that we were blocking each other. No one was blocking anybody. One, we were never offered a fight against each other. And it's not like we would have taken it anyway, but never offered a fight with each other. And for him to help me, we're neighbors here in Vegas. We literally live across the street from each other. I mean, we do a lot together, man. I've met his family. He's met mine. He's a great dude, great guy. And to see him reach the pinnacle, now getting his fair shake and recognition, notoriety, it's cool.
I just wanted your insight on this. This Kai Asakara, who's fighting in the main event, he was, this great bantamweight in Japan. I don't know much about him. I've never seen him fight. I didn't watch much Ryzen, but as you were the best bantamweight in the world for a while. Do you ever have your eye on like, oh, that guy was 135 in another promotion? Like, as a fan of the sport, did you have any insight on him and how good this guy may be making the move over and going down to 125?
Yeah, I got to train with him too. I thought he was a really high level guy, and I'm excited for his debut. I think it's gonna be fun with him and Pantoja. Pantoja's a dog, so that's gonna be a cool unification of Ryzen versus the UFC, their champ versus the UFC champ, and see how that goes. He has a chance to make history and becoming the first Japanese champion, which would be huge for their country. I think it would help the sport explode. But of course, he's got to get past a tough dude in Pantoja who he's all gas, no brakes.
Imagine you beat a guy like Mobzar who nobody has been able to figure out yet. You're going to be right there in that title picture in this new weight class. Is that going about the speed that you want to when you made this move to 145 of finding that path to the championship?
Yeah, I guess. I would like to have gotten there sooner, but it is what it is. I think it just gives me more of an opportunity to see where I'm really at. And if I could beat a guy like this, undefeated, very confident in his skills and what he's been able to do, had some close fights, but I think it puts me in a great position to challenge for the belt next.
Well, I appreciate the time, Aljamain. Thanks so much, man. Best of luck this week, and always appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks again to Aljamain Sterling for joining the show. Thank you to Anthony Lionheart-Smith for joining the show. I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend, and we will talk to you rascals on Monday. Tune into Game Day Uncensored, 9 a.m. with myself, Alejandro Solana. We'll get you ready for Dolphins and Jets. Enjoy the weekend, everybody.